if I do.
Covino and Rich.
Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
You heard all about it on the radio.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Turn it up. We're doing the show.
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Yeah! What's up, buddies?
Good morning. Welcome to the show. We are Covino and Rich.
Yeah.
Everything good? Test one, test two, test one, test two.
Yeah, if people don't know, which they wouldn't know, I'm in LA, Spot's in LA, and Covino is in New Jersey.
Live from both coasts. We're bi-coastal. Just don't tell our parents. It's Covino and Rich. Sports, entertainment, and life. I'll explain.
Oh, can't wait. But first, we be rocking out. Let's go.
Oh, my God. Yeah. By the way, should we let everybody know that everything's okay? Like, oh my God, he made an emergency trip back to New Jersey. I hope everything's all right. Yeah,
Start out by saying everything's okay.
Yeah,
And then
everything's good.
Before you even get into that, I just got to tell you, underrated mini Nilla wafers.
Oh, so rated in my world for sure.
Dude, so underrated.
But
the kids
don't
have
get
them.
enough props. I agree, man. They're fantastic.
The kids have them, and they're so little that you can have like 3 or 4 of them, and it's really not terrible for you. Good for dipping in coffee, and a good little treat. So shout out to Nilla wafers on a Way Back Wednesday.
Yo, dude, for real, B. Like, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm not even kidding you. It's one of those staples that my grandma always gave me, and I pass them on. My daughter eats them all the time. I got them on standby, waiting just to say hi all the time. By the way, Spot, on a side note, let's welcome Producer Spot, everybody.
Hey, Spot.
Producer Spot, making this happen.
Hi.
He's the genius
Spot's
behind it all.
having a rough morning, but it has nothing to do with your setup in Jersey or us in LA. Someone or something happened where Spot's email just got bombarded
I'm the victim of an email bomb.
He got an email bomb. Essentially, thousands of emails coming Spot's way.
Like somebody took my email and like put it in some system, and now it's like logging into or signing up for all these things all over the world, and I'm like,
One
Yeah, Spot, sorry
Swedish
about
penis
that.
enlarger for one Christian Sorge. That's
Sorry,
not his
Spot,
bag,
yeah.
baby.
I filled your name in for some credit card. I just really wanted that towel. I didn't expect all
honestly,
this to
you
happen.
probably did.
Yeah, I got a really sweet towel out of it, though, so if it makes you feel better. No, I wanted to ask you, Producer Spot, the second we went live, everything sort of changed. Like, everything sounds different. I'm just making sure we're good.
What do you mean everything sounds different?
I feel like I'm moving in a pixelated way. I sound different. Like, it gets weird when I speak. But if we're good, then I could roll with it. I'm just making sure we're good.
That has nothing to do with me.
As soon as we went live, that happened.
Then are you watching yourself? Is the house watching? Like, did everyone turn on the show to watch it? Like, I don't know.
No.
It has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do on our end.
Mom's at work. She's wrapping up her career. You know, she's about to retire soon. So she's still at work as of today. So she's not in the house. Nobody's here doing anything except for my dad and my Uncle Tommy, who's here to visit. They're downstairs watching God knows what Star Trek episodes from 1970 something.
Sweet.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing down there. Anyway, no one's on the internet, but we're live. If we're good, then we're good. Appreciate the feedback, guys. So I'm in Jersey.
The
First
feedback,
time in almost 2 years.
The feedback I'm getting is that your pompadour looks
It is.
remarkable from perhaps the angle you're sitting at.
It looks massive.
I mean, honestly, you look like Jimmy Neutron. You look like you look like Jimmy what would Jimmy be in Spanish?
No, who's the guy from?
It's Yimmy in Spanish. Yimmy.
You're Jimmy Neutron.
Who was Brad Pitt? What character was he?
Johnny Suede.
Yeah,
bro.
you look like Johnny Suede right now.
It's fucking great, man. That's the best compliment you could have given
And
me.
don't get me wrong. I care about my hair. So does Spot. So does every person. But when I tell you, the minute Covino signs on to anything, it's amazing how you're just like, the hair. You are so consumed with your hair.
I'm like, can we set up the shot? He's like this. He's like,
Hold on.
Well, you know what? Let me.
I'm like, bro,
I don't want to be distracting.
I'm like,
to the
bro.
public.
I'm like, bro.
It's all good.
I'm like, bro. Can you move a little bit to the left? He's like, wait, what?
I'll put a hat on. We got to make sure my hair fits in the frame. But anyway, I'll put a hat on to not be distracting.
Take
to
the
not
hat
be distracting.
off.
No,
Take
no,
the hat
it's all
off,
good.
Ricky Ricardo.
I don't want to be distracting. I'm very pompous. Thanks for the compliments.
Jersey boys, you're starring with a 1950s, 60s pompadour.
I got the pompadour. Anyway, it's a pompadoodle don't a little bit. It is a little much, so I'll put the hat on. East Coast styles. Shout out to Armstrong.
Yo, by the way,
who
you
bought
know what
me
we
the
should
hat.
do? We should be the first radio podcast to not give shout outs. We could give shard outs.
I just invented that.
You did.
Shout outs.
I'll give you credit.
By the way,
Hey, you know who I
lots
want
of
to give?
shout-outs.
I want to give
Lots
a
of
shout out.
shout-outs.
I want to give a shout out right now to Vic in Toronto. He gets a shout out. Jeff the Jerkman, that guy gets a definite shout out. Spot any shout outs you want to give?
Are there shout outs and shout outs? Are there two different things? Or
I'm going to
what?
give a shout out to Jeffrey Richardson.
Oh,
yeah.
sweet.
Major shout to that guy.
Yeah. Let's see who else gets a shard out.
Who else? Who else gets a shard out? You know what? Dude, maybe people want shout outs and they don't take it as an insult. Like, you're like, Amanda P., can I give her a shout out? Or maybe Sean McCready, that guy's super generous and nice. He deserves a shout out more than anyone.
A lot of shouts and sharts to give
by the way,
throughout the day, but
People are all saying
Let me
lose the
explain.
hat. People are saying lose the
Lose
hat.
the hat. I loved your hair.
too late. You brought it up. I don't want to be distracting. I'm here to do a
If all
show.
the feedback is saying lose the hat,
Shout out.
Nah, Rich, you know what it's like? It's like Slipknot. They wear the masks to not take away from the music. I'm wearing the hat to not take away from the content from the show.
people are saying,
So-
I just saw 12 people in the last 30 seconds went from tier 2 to tier 1 because you kept the hat on.
Yeah.
People are dropping off like flies.
Yeah.
I don't want to be distracting.
Okay,
you.
no,
I'll
please,
see you
leave
later.
it go.
look who
Please.
just
it's so good. Leave it.
Wilma Fingerdew just canceled.
Who?
Wilma Fingerdew.
Yeah, I think so.
No, she just canceled.
Lynn Brower says she definitely does not want a shard out. Amanda said she'll take a shard out.
Oh.
Same with Bleacher Bum. All right, listen, let's get into it.
Shout outs.
We are live.
Take your
Covino and
fucking
Rich
hat off.
on our Patreon. Explain and give everyone
Take your hat off.
the story.
Well, my sister Dawn was visiting from Germany, and her travel schedule is, she can come this time. She don't know about Christmas. You never know when she's going to be able to make it to the U.S., right? Because her husband Clayton is in the Air Force, stationed in Germany, and she was coming out here for like a week or so, and because she was going to be here, I think my Uncle Tommy was going to stop by to say hi. Haven't seen him in 2 years. I haven't seen anybody. So if I didn't stop and see my sister now, like, I'm not going to see her or her kid in 3 years? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her since before the pandemic. So in over 2 years. So I was like, man, I got to stop, see my sister Dawn, and just surprise my mom, because I know she's kind of probably feeling really bad about not seeing her son for almost 2 years now. And, times are flying. So I want to get some quality time in with my family and my dad, like my dad, dude, it's been so long. I almost didn't recognize him. I thought Rob Ryan was there to welcome me. I was like, oh my God, Rob Ryan's at my house.
Oh, wait, Dad.
Oh, wait, Dad, you got the Rob Ryan. So yeah, my dad has the whole Rob Ryan hairdo thing going on. And he went from looking like Colonel Sanders to, then he grew a goatee. This is all during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And he sort of had that I don't give a fuck sort of thing. So he stopped dyeing his hair. Then he looked like Colonel Sanders. Then he looked like Kenny Rogers because he grew the goatee. And now he looks like Rob Ryan because his hair is just like a wild man.
Am I imagining this, or did your ex-girlfriend, Christine, didn't her lovable brother, who was like super handsome but not the brightest dude on earth, didn't he call him Colonial Sanders?
No, he called Popeye's chicken Popeyes.
Oh, that's what. But if I feel like he also may have called Colonel Sanders Colonial Sanders.
No. They came back one day, him and his girlfriend, to my house, and they're like, yeah, we just had Popeye's chicken. I was like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah, you know
But
the
he was
place
a
on
nice guy.
22, Popeyes?
Yeah, Popeyes. I was like, Popeyes? Yeah, Pope, yes, Popeyes?
Yeah, Papayos.
Anyway, yeah,
Well,
that was way back in the day.
the
So
people
because
are asking,
my sister was coming here, I thought it was, just long overdue that I take the risk and just make a surprise visit. And my mom had a fucking freak out, dude. She freaked out. It was weird as hell.
Like, describe the freak out macho man style.
So my brother picked me up at the airport. I haven't seen my brother in almost 2 years. Like, that's reality, guys. That's no bullshit. That's no cap.
Do you give him like take us through it? Do you give him like a sentimental like big bro hug, or is like, yo, hey dude, good to see you?
Nah,
Like, how do you guys interact? How does Master Tommy and Steve Covino interact?
The same way Spot will understand this. The same way that Kaneki and Danny Zuko embrace Spot. You know what I mean? Like, they got to play it cool in front of their friends.
Yeah.
You know, like
you like really get into it for a second, and then
we fixed our hair.
You fixed your hair, yeah.
I gotta tell you, the last couple times I saw my dad, Covino, I gave my dad like legit nice hugs, and that was never a Greg thing. So I think as he gets a little older, he's a little more like, hey, bring it in.
Got a little soft.
Got a little, softer, and his heart has grown. But I wonder, you and your brother, you didn't give him like a big, like, get over here, you little fucking doofus. Oh.
Way back on a Wednesday.
I'm pulling up.
If you could pull the grease clip up, like, we embraced at first, like, yo, but then we, played it cool because it's like, yo, yeah, like, hey, man, like, chill. Yeah, you gotta, hey, remember, we're Covinos. Can't be all lame about it. So my brother picked me up and drove me home. My dad, Rob Ryan, answered the door. He's like, hey, what's going on? Gave me a big hug. I was like, holy shit, it's Rob Ryan. His hair's real long and like flowingly gray with like a gray mustache and goatee. He said he's going to dye it again. So I'm happy about that. But he looks good. My dad looks good because he battled some health issues during the pandemic, but it was medication related. It was all like, medicine's so strong, man. Blood pressure medicine.
Oh, yeah.
All the shit that old people take. That shit is what ends up killing you. The dude for 2 years is like, I wake up lightheaded every day. I think I'm dying.
It's like, hey, maybe you want to see someone, Dad.
But they did every test possible and everything was fine. Turns out it was the medicine, and now he feels great and he looks great. So my dad looks really good. He just got to cut that Rob Ryan hairdo.
You know what they say? You know what they say, Covino? They say, don't hug or kiss your family. Be a man.
Be a man. Yeah, here's how me and my brother were excited to see each other after almost 2 years.
Yeah, hang on one sec.
You got to hang on, Spots.
I saw it pop up. Well, yeah, so my dad answered the door, and my Uncle Tommy was there. I wasn't sure my Uncle Tommy would be here, but he stops in from time to time to visit family. That's my dad's brother. So my dad's brother was there, and he's like, hey, Steve. And I was like, hey, Uncle Tommy, holy shit. Gave him a hug. Haven't seen him in forever, right? And it's good to see everybody. And everyone else, my mom is in bed already. So everybody, and then, of course, my sister Dawn was there and everything. So it was good to see Dawnie.
Who knew, by the way, just for people playing along at home, who knew you were coming home to Jersey? Everyone but your mom?
Well, I only told my dad and my brother because my brother was going to pick me up. So my brother slipped and he told my sister Dawn. So Dawn knew. I was kind of trying to surprise her too because I didn't tell anyone I was coming. I didn't even tell my daughter I was coming. And
she couldn't go? School, obviously?
School and just not the right time, like why take the risk if I don't have to right now? Maybe around the holidays, I guess. But yeah, school and other shit. So I didn't even push it, to be honest. I wanted to make a quick dip, say what's up, catch my sister, get back home, just sort of for my own sanity too, so I could sleep at night knowing that at least I saw my family because I haven't seen them. It's the worst.
Again, don't hug or kiss. Punch them in the arm.
Be a man.
Be a man.
Be a man.
After 2 years. After tears. Hey, what's up? Little pop.
Well, listen, I'll pick you up at 3, huh?
That's Covino and Tommy at the airport.
That's pretty much what happened, yeah. So after I do my initial how do you do's and you look at people like, hey, you look great, Dawn. Hey, all right, cool. I went upstairs to wake my mom up, and she's in her like Ebenezer Scrooge nightgown.
With her lantern.
Yeah. By the way, I'm broadcasting live from what appears to be Ben Franklin's bedroom. It's actually my mom and dad's bedroom. It's where my mom sleeps. So I creaked the door open. I was like, am I in Ben Franklin's room?
She thought it was Jacob. No, she thought it was Jacob Marley.
Yo, yeah, dude. My mom, I'm like, hey, Mom, right? She turns over. It was the weirdest fucking thing. I mean, it was awesome, but weird at the same time. She is so startled, bro. She's like, who's that? Tommy? Yeah, she's like, Tommy. She's looking at me, but can't make sense of it. And I'm looking at her, and I haven't seen her in 2 years. And she's looking at me, and she's like, Steven? Steven? Tommy?
No.
Who is that? Tommy, Steven? I'm like, it's me, Steven. No, it's not. No, it's not. And she's looking at me, dude, but it's not registering. It's like, you know when you walk into a surprise party, but you're not sure it's for you, and you're like, what is going on? Surprise! And you're all confused by it.
Oh.
My mom was confused for like, you know when a hug is too long?
Yes. She was confused for too long.
She was confused for so long. Honest to God, bro, like 30 seconds, but it felt like 5 minutes.
Spot will Spot will back me up on this. That confusing feeling also hits you real hard if you are the recipient of some type of surprise party. Yeah. Like you walk in and you're like, everyone's like, surprise, happy birthday. And you're like, wait, first of all, I thought I was going out to dinner. Wait, who's here? What's going on? Wait, hold on.
It's a very annoying thing.
What?
That's why I hate surprise parties because of that reason.
Did I lose connection? Because I said that. Did I lose connection?
We were just pretending to freeze.
Yeah.
No, you did not lose connection. But that surprise party feeling of walking in and everyone saying surprise and you being like, wait a minute. Wait, who's here? What is going on? I thought we were having dinner. Are we still having dinner? Wait, we're not having dinner. Wait, this is for me? Wait, who's here? Everyone. It's that confusing feeling.
You said she was asleep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. She thought she was dreaming,
Yeah,
dude.
imagine waking up in the middle of the night and someone just randomly showing up that you haven't seen in 2 years. You're like,
bro, she got Ebenezer Scrooge. You know, she hopped out of her bed. It was like when, in Willy Wonka, when the old grandpa jumped out of the bed in his nightgown.
did she have a nightshirt on and a cap?
Yeah, what's that guy's name? The grandpa?
Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa
Biggest,
Joe.
when Grandpa
biggest
Joe,
scumbag in
he jumped out of
cinematic
bed.
history.
My mom jumped out of the bed, bro. She embraced me so hard. She started crying. Yo, she felt so little too. I'm like, Mom, you're shrinking. What's going on? You're turning into Tita. She felt so small. I'm like, Mom, you got so small.
That's what don't Mexican women just start shrinking?
Yeah, at least it seemed that way. I don't know. But she was so surprised, like shocked. I think I almost gave her a heart attack, but it was so nice at the same time. I'm pretty sure my brother and sister were crying watching because I'm pretty sure my brother captured some of it. If he did, maybe I could share some of the audio either later today or some other time. But it was really emotional because she didn't really know what was flying, totally caught her by surprise. And it was really nice. But man, she almost like took the wind out of me because she wouldn't let me go and she was embracing me so hard. So I surprised my mom. And that's why I came here. Nothing bad happened. Actually, just nice things and made a surprise visit. And I'll be leaving early Saturday because, of course, we work on the weekend now on Fox Sports Radio. So I'm just going to be here for a few days. And that's it, man.
Well, here's the fun twist. I myself am also going back east after the show today. Not to see your mom. No, to
Spot? Tommy?
I'm going to show up.
Spot?
By the way, Steve, I get in it.
No.
Honestly, we should do that. We should do that tonight because I get it at midnight. Pick me up at the airport
And just just creep into a big Steven Tense room.
I'll come in and I'll wake up your mom. I'll be like, hey, 10.
Spot?
Spot?
Wait, no.
No, Steven? No.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was like crazy, bro. She was
Mr.
looking at
Belvedere.
me trying to figure it out. It was so long. I never stared eye to eye with my mom as long as I did. Like it's Steve.
Was she was looking at you as if she felt like her eyes were playing a trick on her?
Yeah, and she, me and my brother are very similar in our mannerisms and in our voice, and she's like Mrs. Magoo anyway. She could barely see,
Especially in the dark.
and she didn't expect to see me, so it just threw her off. And then when she realized it was me, like I said, man, I never got hugged so tight in my life. And I'm like, that's right, somebody loves me. My mom. Forgot about that.
Did you at least turn a light on, or was it in the dark and you were like,
Oh no,
"Bah."
it was my mom watching Forensic Files. That's the light she lives by. She doesn't live in the light. She lives in complete darkness, lit by Forensic Files reruns.
It's funny, but no,
Yeah, So I came here for the rest of the week. It's always a struggle, dude, because, I had to make sure someone covered me to pick up Melody on my days, pick her up from school and things like that. Everything is a fucking hassle and a half for me, but
Cover me.
I was able to dip away for a little while. And of course,
'Cause when
I was a
you-
little reluctant, not because not because I didn't want to see my family, because of the health risks involved. And we already know that deal. I want to get into that, but I took every precaution possible. And yeah, I wore my face shield. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't, but I double messed
shield.
it up. If that does anything, probably not, but I didn't touch anything. And, you know, I figured I had
What do
to,
you mean
like
you
you said,
didn't? What do you
Rich,
mean
if I'm
you
going to
did-
live
wait,
in
hold on.
fear,
What do you
I
mean-
gotta at least, you know, I got to accept it.
What do you mean you didn't touch anything?
He hovered.
That you hovered you hovered for 6 hours?
I
He
wiped
was
everything
he was
down.
floating.
I
He
kept
was-
my mask on for 6 hours,
He was like,
man.
he was just,
It's like,
Yeah.
he did the helicopter with his penis and levitated for 6 hours.
sir, would you like pretzels or peanuts?
No, I'm levitating.
I can't touch anything. Don't you
I
put
had
it on
to.
my
No.
tray?
No pretzels.
Something.
No tasty cookies.
Sir, would you like some beverage? No, I don't know where it's been.
I do want cran apple juice, but no.
I can't. Can you make it float? Can you pour it down my throat? I'm gonna open my mouth,
No.
pop the top, and just
My
pour
only
it down my,
my only
mouth.
regret was
can't touch it.
not getting Jordan to come, which is all on me. I thought I was cutting her some slack, like cutting her a break because
Yeah, you're
of
never
the
gonna-
risks involved.
it's a bad-
and I'm just
bad-
going there
bad
to
play.
visit and come back.
Bad
Can't
move.
ex-
But
can't
then
explain
she
this
sort
away.
of put the guilt trip on me. Like I would have came if you asked me, and I'm like, I just assumed that wasn't even.
I assume my live-in girlfriend of 4
possibility.
years wouldn't want to see my
Did you
family.
say you would have came if someone asked you?
I didn't even assume that it was a possibility. You know what I mean? I didn't even think it was
But you
worthy of even
I mean,
factoring
you
in.
gotta
I mean,
because
you
of
gotta
everything involved.
ask. I
Like,
mean, come on.
yeah, I mean, we've
Come
both
on.
been extra cautious, so why take extra risk, you know? So, hey, if I could get her out here maybe just for
Gotta
a day or two, I
ask.
still will. But yeah, I dropped the ball on that, so I feel really shitty about that. So that's my only regret. That's on me. But the fact that I came here just to see my mom and my sister, and of course my Rob Ryan, my dad. That makes it all worthwhile, and I'll be back on Saturday, so I'll make it up to her then.
So I really am going back east. That wasn't a joke that I was going to see your mom.
Yeah.
Going back east because I was able to, through friendships, get tickets to see Coldplay at the Apollo tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. But I'm going back for the weekend.
That's why you're going back, by the way?
You didn't know that?
Oh, I thought you were going back and happened to be also seeing Coldplay. You're going back for Coldplay?
I'm going back for Coldplay.
Oh, wow. I
and
misunderstood.
then
I thought like,
spending the weekend doing stuff. So I'm like,
wow, okay. Yeah, it's a double doozy.
the catalyst is Coldplay, but I'm making the most of
Oh,
it.
I'm learning that now. I thought you were going back to handle some family business, and you're
Well, I am
like, oh,
doing that
coincidentally,
I am doing
Coldplay
that
is
too.
there. That's cool, though.
But I am doing that too. I'm like, I have a meeting with somebody, and I'm doing a couple things, but I scheduled it around the Coldplay show to be in town for that. Otherwise, I would have gone maybe like next month for like Columbus Day or something. But I asked Kristen, I'm like, hey, I'm going back. Do you want to come? She's like, nah, it's like you go do that. You deal with your family. You do with all that stuff. But I still asked.
Yeah,
You
people
gotta
are saying,
ask.
Covino, you amateur,
it's
bro.
not that, dude. When I brought it up, she's like, oh, maybe I'll take a road trip to see my family or something like that. And I just didn't push it. I didn't, think it was a thing. By the way, though, on a side note, I haven't seen my family in 2 years, man. So there was a lot of catching up I had to do.
Yeah, but isn't
I haven't seen my dad.
if I were
all
you,
that shit, so
I would blame it on your ex-wife.
it has nothing to do with her. Why
No,
would I blame her?
I would blame it on you're like a beaten puppy. Like you're conditioned to think that like
No one wants to see your family.
like the girl you're with doesn't want to come see your family. Like blame it like I'm just so conditioned because like why on earth would your girlfriend that you live with of 4 years not want to see your family the one time you see them every few years?
No, because of the travel restrictions. Like she was really reluctant to go party with her sister for her bachelorette party. But it was actually dealing with other people that she was concerned about. It wasn't necessarily taking the flight. I just misread the whole scenario. I don't want to harp on that. Like I said, I take full accountability on that. But that's my only regret. However, like I said, I haven't seen my family in 2 years. Let me spend some time with my family. And then, it is really important for her for me to have her be here as well. So yeah, it was just miscommunication on my part, last minute planning, and just assume that the risk wasn't worth it right now. Like I just didn't think that was part of the deal. I just didn't, because she was telling me I probably shouldn't go. And she was saying that because you're going to be so paranoid about catching COVID.
What are you so paranoid about? If you catch it,
I don't want to get sick. So I didn't want to like drag her into that either. But she told me later on, like, I totally would have went with you, but you didn't really seem like you wanted me to come. Like, fuck, man. I totally would have wanted you to come. So it was just a miscommunication thing, and I didn't want to pressure her to think she had to come.
Tell her if she wants to come with me this afternoon. I could use a travel companion. Plus, I lost my neck pillow, so I can.
It's not a thing. It's a
use,
learning
I
lesson.
can
I
use her
fucking
jobs as like
dropped the ball. I assumed poorly.
It's like nestle
That's
in
what you
there.
get when you think for others. You know what I mean? I should have talked it out. I just really totally assumed, like, because of the risk factors and the circumstances, that it wasn't even worth it. Otherwise, I believe in your partner being on your team and by your side all the time. So. Yeah, if I feel bad about anything, it's that. But otherwise, I feel great that I made it here, and
that's awesome.
I took that risk against my own better judgment. I really didn't want to travel. I came here to see my sister and my mom and dad.
I don't know why
Don't go down that road.
I just don't know why you keep saying against his better judgment. Like, people are traveling
because I don't have the shot, bozo. You know that. Like, why do you keep asking me obvious questions?
Rich has been traveling since March of 2020.
Vaccine.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, didn't we come to that resolution like months and months ago where it's like, hey, no one's going to get the vaccine or don't. But if you don't get the vaccine, then just proceed with living.
That's why I did it. That's why I came. But I'm still going to be reluctant, hesitant, and like extra cautious about it. I didn't come here to fucking hobnob and party and schmooze and see every Tom, Dick, Harry, Manny, Mo, and Jack and all my high school friends. I came here to see my sister and my mom. I'm not going anywhere. And, I'm coming back home. So I didn't want to subject Jordan to that, and I assumed wrongly. And when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me or something like that.
True.
So I'll make it up to her. I dropped the ball, and if I can get her to come, that'd be great. If not, it's all good.
Bring her home a Taylor ham sandwich. That'll seal the deal.
By the way, have you not had Taylor ham yet? You've been there. It's a little later on the East Coast. Like, you could have very well have got yourself a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese this morning.
No. I woke up late. It was weird for me, man. You go home, and again, this is where I lived from 14 to like 27 years old, right? This is the home, the family home, the Covino home.
That's where you grew up.
You were in your 30s when you left that house.
That's not true. I mean, it's a funny joke, but it's not true. And I figured I'd stay in my old bedroom, which was the basement downstairs. And they redid the whole fucking thing, dude. They did this like pre-pandemic, I think. And I hadn't even seen it. It's been totally redone for almost 2 years now. And I got to sleep in that new space. And it doesn't even feel like my old room anymore, which is weird. So your mind just starts racing. I was up late, late last night watching Yankee replays and just reminiscing a little bit. And by the time I fell asleep and woke up, I didn't have time for Taylor ham, but I'll make time later today.
Taylor ham. Your dad's probably your last time I saw you in Jersey.
Yeah.
When we were there together. Sadly, it was last time I saw your parents, Covino, was when we went to New Jersey for Spot's mother's service. And I remember your dad bringing back Taylor ham sandwiches and crumb cakes for us. And I was like, yo, I just want to stay here forever. I could see why you live there till you're 28. Like, your parents your parents have their own little bed and breakfast.
27. Stop creeping it up, more and more. All right. Now, you're so right about that. It is a bed and breakfast because all the birds have left the nest, right? So there's all these empty bedrooms, done so perfectly. But it's amazing the amount of snacks that my family has. In the next few days, I'll do behind the velvet ropes of what's in the attic, maybe. The toys in the attic, Aerosmith style.
Oh, what's in the attic's a great game. Wow, can't wait for this. What's in the attic?
What's in the attic?
I'll show you the fucking.
Oh, you should do the attic of rage.
Yeah, the attic of rage. I'll show you the enormous amount of snacks that my family has. It's ridiculous. And, maybe a little how do you do for my brother and whatever else is going on here. So I'll do a few fun things. What do you mean how do you do for your brother? You haven't seen your brother in a couple of years and everyone loves him. If you don't do something where you and Tommy just bullshit, it's a fail. Yeah, and that's that's the other thing. I'm trying to catch up, get some quality time while I'm here. I'm only here for a few days. Today's Wednesday. Yeah. I leave Saturday afternoon, actually Saturday evening. Get home early Saturday, and hopefully get to have some quality time with Jordan then. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. It was last minute. and I'll do some extra stuff for your viewing pleasures behind the velvet rope
You better
on our Patreon, guys.
bring her some like sweet, like trinket from your trip.
What type of trinket would Jordan want from New Jersey?
Entenmann's cakes. That's
an
about
Entenmann's
it.
cake. Yeah, an Entenmann's cake.
Yeah.
What would she want?
Entenmann's
A
cakes.
grandma pie. Can you slip that in your backpack?
A couple
Yeah,
big.
I just look again to wrap that up. That's all on me. I looked at it like I'm cutting her a break. I'm letting her off the hook. She don't have to come on this trip. Otherwise, I expect her to be on this trip with me. I just looked at it like, given the circumstances, I know you're wary of me going. I'm not going to put you through it. I'm just going because I have to. I feel obligated. I'm going on obligation. I'm not going to drag you along into this. So that's all on me. Now I feel bad about it. She's like, I would have went. I'm like, you would have went? Fuck.
Do you think she
You
just?
know, now I feel like a jerk off.
You think she just said that to make you feel bad?
Maybe not. I don't know. But either way, I'm here and I'll make the most of the time and I'll make it up to her.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. So,
I mean, I'd hope you're not there just for obligation. Don't you? Aren't like you're not excited to be back there?
I'm there so I could sleep at night, so I could check in and feel good and complete. You know, I feel terrible. I haven't seen my family, you know, and how many chances do I have? You know, they're not going to live forever. I can tell you that.
Oh,
So how many-
bring back a sack of gabagool.
Oh
A
yes.
sack
I
of
don't
it.
like that shit. I really don't even like that shit. But I'll
know
bring
what-
some Taylor
What
ham
don't you
back.
like about
You
gabagool?
on gabagool?
Not really. Yeah, it's not my thing.
Scooby Doo.
You gotta visit Scooby Doo. Come on.
I love the song.
Got some gabagool. Then I woke up the next day and got some gabagool.
I gotta give Clove Man a shout out. Jordan, I brought you back the scale model of the Union Water Tower.
Oh, that would be dope. Can
Hope
you, get
you
me one?
enjoy.
Can you give me one too? How much is it? I'll Venmo you.
I will tell you this. I'll tell you this.
Take the fucking hat off.
I don't want to harp on it, but when you feel like you dropped the ball on some shit, it is the weakest feeling.
Oh, I know.
You know,
I
so
think we've all
I just want
been,
to be
we've
here
all
and
been
fucking have a
there.
nice time. I don't want to sit here like Mr. Mopey face because I feel bad about that.
No, we
I don't
agree.
need that. I don't need that guilt trip. I'm here to have a good time. I admit that I fucked up on that, but I just misread the scenario like completely, and it just adds to my heads up my ass all the time. But I really thought I was doing a solid by
Yeah.
not pressuring and just doing my own thing and coming back as soon as I could.
Kim and Julie, the girls are chiming in on the feedback because they're all saying, did he book it without checking with her? I was thinking the same. Julie and Kim and a lot of people are saying, did you, because you're not a book things on your own type of guy. So you just booked it and then told her?
I think I booked it while she was away. No, she knew I was planning on coming while my sister was here. She knew that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
she
just
absolutely
reading
knew
the
that. But
feedback.
you know,
because
because I had a lot of juggling involved and
Juggling
what
as well?
days- Yeah, because I have to figure out what days I'm able to come. Like the reason I left on a Tuesday afternoon is so that I can fulfill my obligations with Melody on Monday and Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
I had to figure out the days and figure out the planning. So yeah, I looked at it like she was off the hook on this one, but you know, she hopefully will come on the next one or the one after that. So thank you guys again for hanging out with us. I hope the quality's all right. It's a little weird, but it's really cool that we could do it this way.
Of course. man.
And, you know, I'll be doing Turbo and Lithium from Ben Franklin's bedroom the rest of the week on Sirius XM. But
Oh, when
thanks for being
when
here.
I stayed there, I stayed in the John Hancock suite. That's right down the hall, right next to the Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson rooms.
Yeah, no, yeah, for real. You know what? Maybe I'll show you all that shit. But it also is a really weird time. Like, I'm not even trying to justify, but
Sounds like you are.
no, I'm not. I haven't seen my family in 2 years, dude.
I know.
So, you know, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, right? A lot of catching up to do between me and them. But at the same time, my sister Jen, her whole house was destroyed. So her husband, and her little rugrat Scarlett, they're also here too. So the house is a bit chaotic right now.
It's a full
You know,
house.
and my
Where's Bob
sister
Saget?
Dawn is visiting.
Wait, is
You know,
Dave
my Uncle
Coulier?
Tom
Is
is
Dave
here.
Coulier in the basement?
Yeah, like
Cut it
it's
out.
a really weird scenario. So because they have no electricity still in their home after the hurricane.
That sucks.
Yeah, so they're living here, and it's like a bit of a circus. So honestly, I think
But you did say you were juggling.
in retrospect, I didn't intentionally, like none of this was deliberate, but cut Jordan some slack because it's a little chaotic right now.
By the way,
Um,
you said Full House yesterday. was indeed Dave Coulier's birthday. Cut it out. How old do you think Uncle Joey is?
62.
I'm guessing 662.
You guys are both right. Congratulations. You're geniuses.
Are you serious?
62. Dave Coulier.
Well, I have it
Wow.
marked in my calendar, so
I feel like I
I'm
honestly,
reminded all the time.
I feel like it came up on the show recently that we like looked at his age.
Yeah, because we were trying to decide of
Oh,
Saget,
who's the oldest? Yeah.
of Saget, Stamos, and Coulier, their ages. That's right. They
Hey, by the
all
way,
look fantastic.
on a side note, man, to wrap up the conversation, Rich, before we get into birthday shout-outs.
Yeah, no, by the way, shout-outs, by the way, not shout-outs.
Shout-outs. Like, I don't know how we made a fucking quick left to Dave Coulier.
Shout out to Alex Efforts.
But I wanted to let you know that the one thing I didn't miss that doesn't even feel normal to me
Humidity.
is I walk outside. Yo, so fucking funny, Spot. You nailed it. You nailed it.
Humidity.
Humidity.
It's a thing.
Yo,
That's the one thing that I noticed when I went home for 4th of July. I'm like, it is fucking, I'm sweating. It's hot.
It's hot in LA, but your back don't sweat like that.
yo, you know when you go on vacation and you're in some little vacation hut or little house and it's like, it's fucking humid here, but it has that vacation feel to it.
Yeah,
that
you're-
humidity.
Yeah.
Yo, man, it is so evident.
Humid.
I can't believe I live this way. I feel like I'm on a tropical island.
You need to borrow
the
Archie's
humidity
linen
is like
pants.
so noticeable. I'm like, does it ever not rain here, man? I got out of the airport yesterday, raining. I wake up today, it's a nice day, but the humidity
Raining.
is ass cheeks, bro.
Raining.
Yo,
Losing.
Spot nailed it. My
Yeah,
jeans
it
are
is-
sticking to my legs.
It really is. The humidity, you don't realize how much it affects
Thick.
your body in space.
I will double.
And Rich.
I will double back you up on that because when I was in New York in August, my big takeaway was, yo, I hate talking about weather because it's like lame conversation, but no joke, it's hotter out here temperature wise. But you're like, yeah, it's just like hot. It's like,
But here's why I know it. Like, it's been 2 years, right? So I feel like I really forgot this feeling. And I brought it up to my dad. And he's like, hey, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's like really moist. There's a lot of moisture in here. It's really humid in here. You don't feel that? I don't feel that. I'm like, damn, dude. I forgot about it, I guess.
yeah, no, you that's one thing where people are like, yeah, it's really hot in the valley. It's like, yeah, it is hot in the valley here in California, but it's hot. I guess the best way to describe it for anyone listening would be the difference between your back being sweaty within 20 seconds of walking outside. Here in LA, it could be hot out, and you could somehow mask it and be like, all right, I'm not going to sweat. I'm not going to be gross. You go outside in New York or New Jersey in the middle of summer or even the end of summer, you're like, yo, why is my chest and back sweating? I've been outside 20 seconds.
Yeah. I remember
You got swamp ass going on you. Just pick it out the mail from the mailbox. You get swamp ass.
I remember one of our conventions. It was, that was the end of June. It was super fucking hot and humid. And I had to walk from the hotel like 10 blocks to the studio. And in that course of that time, my shirt was soaked to the point where when I got to work, I had to take it off, let it air dry.
Oh, gross.
In a studio with no one around, so no one would see my big body.
Oh, gross.
And it's humidity is like
Gross.
legit.
Kristen saying she flew from San Francisco on an overnight flight to Philly, stepped out of the plane, was like slapped in the face. 100% humidity, fucking disgusting. Maria saying that she is glad.
You can read. It's okay. You don't have to look in our eyes.
Glad Covino decided to go home. I just didn't know which one shot. That's my one shot. Okay.
That's your one shot. Yeah.
My hair loves the humidity. Fro sure. Yeah, women. That was Sarah's big complaint. When she moved from Texas to New York when we first started dating, the humidity ruins a woman's hair. Like,
Actually, you know what? Hold on. I can do the one shot.
yeah, you could do the one shot spot.
But it's gonna look weird.
But yeah, no, I know. I don't want it to appear like we're busting Covino's balls about the not inviting Jordan. It just there's so few opportunities for him to see his family. When will his family ever get to know Jordan or ever really see her or spend any time with her? If not now, like if they so infrequently go east west, and his family hasn't been here in 5 years. It just if they're not gonna get to know Jordan now, then when will that time come? That was the sentiment, I think.
Well, I mean, that's the obvious. Why do you keep harping on it, dude? Like, I feel bad about it enough.
I'm just saying,
like,
I'm
I
reading
clearly
all the,
like,
I'm
feel
reading all
bad
the
about
feedback.
that.
That's all.
But why do you keep harping on it when I already said, like, yo, man, I fucked up and I feel really bad about it?
Why'd you fuck
That's
up, bro?
obvious. You don't think I know that?
Why'd you fuck up?
No, I think I'm just really encouraging you to get that statue of the Union Water Tower for her because
Yeah, I
I
think
want
that's-
one too.
I don't think she gives a fuck. I think she just wants to know that I wanted her here, and that's obvious to me. You know, like, yeah, of course I do. Fuck, I just didn't want to like drag you here, knowing again the circumstances. Like, we haven't traveled, we haven't really done anything in 2 years, so I wasn't going to add to her risk, but she would have done it had I sort of made it happen, but I didn't because I fucked up. I don't need like the reminders. I'm just taking accountability and letting you know. I feel bad. Man, that sort of like rains on my little parade here because I feel bad about it, and I don't want that guilt trip when I'm just trying to have a good quality time with my family.
Man, they really roll out the red carpet when you're home. There's a parade and a circus.
Wow, juggling.
Jeez.
Fucking pretty cool, man. And,
Wow.
Yeah.
No reason to feel bad. You guys could go back together. No big deal. That's Terry. Wes in Idaho talking about the heat. He goes, make fun of Vegas's the Vegas dry heat all you want, but humidity is evil. Evil. So, hey, there you go. Covino's back in Jersey. Are there things you are... I know you're not doing the Rich Davis World Tour like I do when I'm back on the East Coast, but do you have a list of things you want to get, like pizza, Taylor ham, egg and cheese? Like, do you have your own little like Covino checklist in mind or no? Are you doing the same type of things?
No, man, I don't give a fuck. I'm just here to see them. I swear.
But I'm saying like...
I just came in to get it off of my chest, dude. Like I said, so I could sleep at night. I feel bad. I haven't seen anybody, man. It is a fucking shitty feeling. You feel like a piece of shit, like on a lonely island. I'm out in LA because of choices I made fucking, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And my whole life and family are really out here on the East Coast. So,
I get that feeling. I know that feeling.
Yeah. So I'm here to get that shit off my chest, see my family while they're still alive and healthy, and come back and get back to normal.
Know what else you should get off your chest? Those little fucking hairs around your nipples.
Yeah, I gotta fucking trim those bad boys
get
up.
those
You
off
ain't
your
lying.
chest.
You ain't lying.
Totally
But,
enjoy.
yeah, as far as-
just enjoy your time, Covino. Covino, stop being hard on yourself. That's from Lisa. And by the way, I'm not saying go fucking rage and party with all your union buddies. I'm saying you don't have on your mind like, all right, while I'm here, I got to get Taylor ham, egg and cheese. I got to get some pizza. What is Dad gonna go to? Your dad's gonna definitely bring home. What pizza is that?
Johnny Napkins.
Johnny Napkins. You're gonna have Johnny Napkins tonight, I bet.
Maybe. I'll definitely have a Taylor ham sandwich.
Oh.
My buddy Gus, he drives around. He works in the area. So he might stop by to say what's up.
See your buddy
But
Gus.
other
See
than
your buddy,
that, I'm
see
not
your
going
buddy
out of my way.
Gus. Dude, see your buddy Gus.
I live by the ways of Spot. If people want to come see me, that's great. Especially, again, I'm not vaccinated. I'm not proud of that. If you're new to the show, I'm just not.
By the way, to play Stat Boy, your dad hit us up and said everyone in the family is vaccinated except you and your brother.
Yeah.
So if you want to play,
true.
yeah.
So, again, I'm not trying to put anybody else at risk. I'm not trying to put myself at risk. I'm just trying to fucking see my family and then head back.
Hey,
That's
buddy,
it.
besides Johnny Napkins and some Taylor ham, egg and cheese, are you sort of mad at yourself now that, I know you wanted to show up and see your flustered mother at midnight with a fresh haircut, but should you have saved your haircut for Luigi, old time's sake? Todd at Luigi's? No?
Again, given the circumstances, if it wasn't a pandemic and people weren't still getting sick, then yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. That's part of the fun of coming back home, but I'm not here for that. Like, at least not now. Like, I want to. Yeah, it would have been dope to go back to my old barber. 100%. I thought about it.
I'm just
but
saying.
I'm like, I'm not doing that.
I'm just saying also that the fact that like your brother and other people are living their lives, that sort of voids the idea of you trying to be super safe if no one else is changing their approach. So don't be too cautious.
I think everybody is except for my brother.
Like if your brother's going out to bars.
But he says he has to get tested often. So he's been getting tested and he's fine, according to him. That's his theory. The girl he sees is a nurse, and she's always vaccinated. I'm sorry, she's always getting tested too. So
I thought the girl he was seeing just dressed up as a nurse for him. She's an actual nurse?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, so, okay. I confused it.
Look, I'm doing what I can, but like you said, you can't live in complete fear. But that doesn't mean I need to go see my barber if I don't have to. So anyway, my dad is Rob Ryan.
Your mom's confused.
It's nice. My mom's confused. It's nice to be here.
Oh, your dad was Kenny Rogers.
No, not anymore. Rob Reiner. No, Rob Reiner. Rob Ryan. Spot. Look up Rob Ryan. You might not. That's Rex Ryan's brother. He just has long hair.
Thank you. I know who he
is. You know what, Spot? People don't realize you've become sports guy. This morning we came in and the few clips we told Spot to pull, anything that was sports related, Spot's
That's-
like, yo,
yeah.
I know it. I'm like, wow, Spot's sports guy.
Maybe
now.
you haven't heard. I'm an expert on Fox Sports Radio.
People don't know that.
Maybe you haven't heard that.
Fox Spot Radio.
Spot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change. I have to find the Fox equivalent of Spot Center.
You're no longer Spot Center on social media. You're at
Fox Spots.
Fox Spot Radio.
Fox Spot Radio.
By the way, man, on another side note, live from Union, New Jersey.
Oh, is your
Rich,
brother? I'm sorry. Is your brother dating Nurse Dumpy? Someone wanted to know.
Nurse Dumpy, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nurse Rumpy doesn't make him grumpy.
Now, again, because my sister Dawn is here and my sister Jen is living here temporarily because her house was ruined in the hurricane. Bro, I woke up to like just little feet running around. The fucking it's so loud. Yeah, it's so loud. Like I can't even tell you like how it's like it does feel like family circus, man. They were so loud. I was just trying to sleep, but it was so funny, man, how loud these kids are. It's a lot, bro. It made me think of the amount of little kid energy you have to deal with on a daily basis, Rich.
Dude, you and Spot get a little more of a glimpse because you're here every day now, but what you hear in the background or see Sarah and I dealing with when you walk in here and you're seeing your siblings deal with, it's nonstop. You forget because your daughter's grown and like takes care of herself now. She's a preteen, so she's like, Dad, I like she's a little know-it-all preteen.
Want to know the sad part about it though? My two sisters, they both have 2 kids, and my other sister's pregnant. They don't even really know me at all. So to them, they're going to see this dude who feels familiar, but is like a weird version of my brother Tommy. So they only know me through pictures and shit.
It's a different world. That's why, I mean, again, this is not a Bust Covino's Balls Wednesday.
I mean, it feels like it.
But that's why you got to get.
Bit.
That's why. Well, yeah. Listen, you bust my balls every day. I'm the biggest victim. I'm the biggest punchline on the show for years.
Yeah, but this is shit that bothers me as well.
Right,
that I
for
live
instance-
with and I deal with. You
for
know, and I
instance,
just
your big I don't fucking FaceTime stance. Maybe that changes moving forward because your
that's not
nieces.
true. I got the Echo Show for everybody in my family for that reason.
Okay.
I don't use it as often as I should. I'll give you that bit.
I'll give you. But I'm saying when you see your little nieces and nephew and they're over the next 3 or 4 days, kids get attached real quick. Grandpa's in town. Like Sarah's dad's been staying with us the last 3 days. He leaves this afternoon. He's been here since Saturday, so like 4 or 5 days. I know for sure Emmy, maybe not Ben, but Emmy's gonna be like, where's Grandpa? Like, FaceTime and videos and pictures. It may be lame when your friend FaceTimes you. But for nieces, nephews, and kids, that is the true, real reason why FaceTime's awesome.
You can't argue that.
Yeah,
I'm just not good at it.
FaceTime is stupid. I agree. No one wants to FaceTime their buddy. Yeah, why is this person FaceTiming me? But you know what? If your sister Dawn FaceTimes you or does WhatsApp video from Germany with her kids, I mean, that's a reason to answer the phone.
All right. So sports, entertainment, life, family. Real life scenarios, that's what I'm dealing with right now, but it feels good. So all's
more.
positive. I'm excited for a Taylor ham sandwich. I'm excited for Johnny Napkins. I'm excited to watch the Yankees later tonight with, my
half a
family.
game, bro. Half a game right there. Half a game out of the wild card.
The wild card. Had a big game last night.
This goes against every New York Met fan instinct, but I'm pulling for the Yankees because I want to see you happy. I want to see.
I'm happy.
I want to.
I'll be happy
but
about
I'm saying
it.
I want to see the Yankees because I think the Yankees Red Sox 1-game wild card itself would be a great must see game. And that would be it. As of right now, if the Yankees were that second wild card, you would get Yankees at Fenway for a 1-game wild card. And who wouldn't think that's the best thing for baseball? That's the best thing for baseball.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's huge. So
one more question for you.
Yeah.
Being that you see these little munchkins running around, your nieces and nephews.
I haven't seen them yet. I just heard them. By the time I got up and ready, they went to the zoo or some shit. So they're not here yet.
Okay.
I haven't seen them yet.
And by the way, Alex Efforts, I did not flip-flop on FaceTime. I like it. I know Covino doesn't like it. I'm trying to tell him that there is a positive side. For people that don't like FaceTime and stuff like that, nieces and nephews are an example of.
But you know what, man? It's not the same. On the flip side, just to give you an argument, I'm not saying you're wrong, but anytime I would FaceTime with my daughter and my parents, let's say,
Yeah.
right? Because she's in LA, we're in LA. When she was little, she would always leave that phone call feeling sad. And she would cry and shit all the time.
Oh,
you
no,
know,
see,
because she
Emmy-
couldn't see grandma and grandpa. And, you know, those are like almost awkward memories, if anything, because she always felt so sad about it.
Oh, see, Emmy, I feel like Sarah's mom FaceTimes every single day. And my complaint is that I become the walking phone holder. I'm like the tripod. I'm just standing there holding the phone. And I'm like, I get it though.
Yeah,
But-
my family's not very good at keeping in touch, to be honest. I mean, we're a
here's-
very tight family as far as we got each other's back and we love each other,
Same.
but not good at stuff like that, I guess.
We're the worst. My siblings are the worst.
Yeah, not good at family things.
Sarah's mom will text me like every night, like, are the kids sleeping yet? Can I FaceTime? And I'm like, yeah, they're sleeping.
Yeah, no, my mom never does that shit.
My wife talks to her mother on the way to work and on the way home. So like for an hour a day.
Yeah, I do. I used to do the same when I would go to your house spot for the show. Not an hour, but that's when I would call my mom and dad, be like, hey, just checking in. You good? All right. Have a great day. Now, Covino, when you see all these little kids and you see Ben and Emmy, and I love how you've taken a liking to Ben.
I mean, I have a liking to Emmy too.
I know, but I feel like Ben's like just makes you laugh.
Well, I'm not gonna like pick up Emmy against her will and like throw her onto the couch.
Yeah.
But Ben, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that too.
Do you feel like you have the energy now to do it yourself?
I don't know. I mean, it's a great question.
Because I feel like you're
don't know.
so young at heart. In fact, someone said you lost 20 years when you turned your hat backwards. You look like a fucking 20-year-old punk.
How you doing, fellow kids?
I felt good when your buddy at the end of yesterday's show, Chris Siri, mutual friend, but Rich's high school friend, came to visit us, and he goes, you know, this is after the show. He goes, yo, you know, you guys are fucking aging in reverse out here. What the fuck is going on? And I got to be honest, that I needed that compliment
Felt
because
nice.
I feel it. I feel like ass cheeks sometimes, you know, especially in the morning, and you know, sometimes how you feel depicts, like it fucks up your reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I've been feeling a little shitty because I haven't seen my family because of the pandemic and it's starting to weigh on me and all that shit, and just, you know, regular life hassles and hoffs. It's nice. It was nice to hear that, because I'm like, oh man, thanks, because I feel like ass. So thank you very much.
Well, I was gonna say you act young, look young, but do you feel young enough to have a newborn if you were to go down that path again?
Mentally, I feel I'm there. Physically, I'm really lazy. So I think it would give me that extra boost that I probably need, you know, so that I'm not lying there like a slug the entire day, you know? So yeah, at this stage, I think, to answer your question, it's like when Tom Brady was asked, could he play till 50? And he's like, yeah, you know, I don't think that's that hard. I think I can do it.
I think I can, yeah.
I think I can. I feel really youthful still. You know, credit to Jordan too. Credit to good genes, and credit to my immaturity in a lot of ways and my humor. I feel like this industry and my job and the things that I'm into keeps me young. But even dealing with a younger person, I mean, Jordan's light years smarter and more mature than me, but she's still younger. And, you know, I think that keeps me on my toes even just a little bit, you know, and if I actually put some effort into it, yeah, I think I got some tread on the tires, as they say, Rich. So,
Okay. Yeah. It's so much energy, and I'm always tired, and you're always tired. Everyone's always tired. As you get older, I think you just get more tired.
you get tired and you gain 2 pounds per year, right?
You had that conversation. We had that conversation the other day about how, like, what are the signs where you know, like, I am getting older, even if you look good or, you know, feel youthful. Like, you can't stay up late and wake up early anymore.
No, you can't. I'll tell you what, though, on the flip side, you know, I was just looking at myself right now, and the one thing I really don't appreciate is when people see this sort of demeanor or this sort of guy. I feel like they talk down to me, and I don't like it, and I want to tell people to go fuck themselves.
Oh, like
I think,
like youthful, like when you're like, no, I'm a fucking grown man. I'm in my 40s, and you're treating me like a punk.
Yeah, and I know that's like partially my fault because of I wear my hat like Fernando Rodney sometimes. But even when I'm not wearing a hat, like it just in real life, I could tell like, yo, this guy's coming at me from a place that I'm not really vibing with right now. And I want to tell him to go fuck off. I'm probably 20 years older than this guy and he thinks I'm at his level. I'm not. And I don't like it, and I can just get that vibe sometimes. Like, how you would respect your elders? I don't garner that respect because of that, which is weird. Like I just don't. And I'm like, yo, I'm 45, dude. 45. That fucking sucks.
Yo, fucking put some respect on his name.
Yo, I thought 45 at least came with a little like, yo, he's got some wisdom now or some respect or some shit. Like people, even at Fox Sports Radio, I mean, they love us there, but I could tell they don't know how long we've been doing this shit. They have no idea.
Yeah, because you don't present older. And that's not a bad thing. You can say that it's probably helped you more than hurt you in your career. But
oh yeah, I'm in no rush to be
if people did the math and like, all right, they've been doing this a long time, they could figure out Covino's in his 40s. But if you just met Covino with his sideways hat, his chain, acting like making shark jokes, no one would mentally equate you to 45.
I mean, I've always been that way though. So, anyway, it's not like I'm. No, that's the difference.
I agree with Alejandro. Covino, wear glasses to Fox.
I might. I was thinking when I finally get benefits again, Rich. Right?
Yeah.
If you want to hear my rant about that, catch Behind the Velvet Rope on our Patreon. When I finally get benefits, because I feel like I've earned them.
Yeah.
And I get my eyes checked, and they say, yeah, your eyes have gotten a little worse. You might need some. I definitely will say, hey, bring on the glasses. I'll rock them.
Let me tell you, when
Just
we
for
read,
a new,
when we,
new look, a new vibe.
When we read the feedback on the screen here, the YouTube chat, the Covino Rich Carl's page, the tweets, everything.
What? Here's my mom's, Mrs. Magoo glasses.
Covino will squint and he's like, yo, Spot, I can't read that font. Like,
yeah, but that's because I'm going from my phone to the fucking. I can't do that.
Well,
if I'm looking at my phone and then I try to look at the score on TV, I can't do that shit.
Let me tell you, my dad. I'll give you a little story about a guy named Greg. My dad.
Here's a little story about a man named Greg.
Here's a little story about a man
here, but it was bad. Then one day he was shooting us some food.
Does work for you.
Take the hat off.
Take the hat off. Let me see how you look without the hat, but the glasses. No,
with the glasses. Keep the glasses on.
Keep the glasses on.
Well, I got to fix my head. Look at this pompadour, bro. I got a Jacoby Shaddix going on. Rich, you know who that is?
Of course, Papa Roach.
Oh my God! Look at my hair.
Well, I mean, don't make it look ridiculous.
I'm trying to fix it, but it's opposite, so I keep pushing it the wrong way.
That looks great, right there, just like that, Screenshot that spot. That's the look right there.
Hold on. There you go. The glasses work or what? This is why you got to subscribe to Tier 2, everybody, so you can see this.
I don't know. A Vato with a chain and your look. I don't know.
Yeah, I look vaguely Asian.
When
I'm supposed to look slightly Vato.
All right. Well, a story about a guy named Greg, my dad.
Oh.
Our whole life, I wore glasses. I wore contact lenses. I wore thick bottle like brown lenses. I was the fucking nerd glasses of all nerd glasses. My dad would always say, oh, that's your mother's genetics. I got perfect. In fact, I got 20/10 vision. My dad would always talk about it. He has like an eagle eye. Like,
Greg, eagle eye.
Oh, I don't think you. I got perfect vision. It's your mother. I'm sorry to tell you.
Your mother.
My dad hit a certain age. My dad's going to be, I hate to even say it, my dad's going to be 70 in December.
Wow, the big 7-0.
The big 7-0. And maybe like a decade ago when he was like 60, Covino, every time he looks at his iPad or his phone, he puts on his spectacles, his little like reading glasses. And I'm like, oh, what happened to the perfect vision? Oh, I'm not eagle-eyed Greg anymore. So as you get older,
the first sign is when someone's holding their phone like at a distance, looking at it. Yeah, it's a good indicator.
Same thing with wasn't our pal Kid Kelly Spot like out of nowhere? Like he became the guy that was like doing that with his phone. We'd go to a restaurant and he'd use the flashlight for the menu. I'm like, oh, you're embarrassing me. Like there's signs that your eyes are going.
I noticed that the first like old guy thing, because my Uncle Joey always took a lot of pride in being super youthful, right?
Yeah.
No one ever believed he was my uncle. It was always that thing. Like, are you guys cousins? I would actually say he was my cousin to not cock block him when we would go out. But he was my uncle. He's got me by 10 years. So he always had a youthful vibe about him, like way longer than he should have. And the first indicator I had of him getting older was him busting out the spectacles and then looking at the phone from a distance because he couldn't read it up close anymore.
Oh.
Eagle
so, eye. Oh.
Hey, Rich, go through some feedback because I can't read the feedback from my setup here in Jersey, live from Ben Franklin's bedroom. Rich is on the West Coast. Spot will be heading east tomorrow. I got a bunch of random stories. There's like a lot of random stories in the news that I want to like throw out there and just get your take on and speculate on a little bit. Before we do that, I want to maybe say hi and read some feedback first.
You can use your laptop if you need to read feedback.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm not trying to fuck up my setup here.
He's got a nice setup. His hair looks good. His hat looks good. The setup's nice. He's in the commemorative Ben Franklin room. Everything's great. Don't touch it. Don't touch anything.
The Franklin
I don't want to touch anything.
Yeah. I got my dad's vision. That's from Jen Brown. He had the worst vision. Been wearing glasses for years. I did wear contacts, but can't wear them anymore. Terrible for me. Let me tell you, people that have bad vision, I think it's about time that I probably should get LASIK. But wearing contacts don't bother me. But I don't know. I feel like anyone that has LASIK gives you the old, why would you not get it? It's easy, it's simple, one day, and it's your vision's fixed. I don't know. My son loves to show me TikToks, and then he puts the phone up to my face, and I usually have to push it farther away so I could see. Yeah. I got LASIK in 2004, and now I can't read. That's from Lynn Brower. Shit.
I'll tell you what, Rich, in the past year, you know how we say your body knows? Your body knows? Mm-hmm. And it just sort of catches up. It's like that deep thought you had recently. I don't know if you want to dive into that. Remember that deep thought you had about aging? Well, the first indicator that I'm having right now is I'll be looking at my phone because we all do, right? And you got it at about chest level, and you're just scrolling through shit, and you're reading, and then you look up to see what inning it is or what the score is. And I'm like, it takes me a second to adjust now, where it didn't before. Yeah.
Let's see. I hate having bad vision. Such a hassle. People with perfect vision, I agree with Baxter, don't realize what a hassle they avoided. So think about that, Covino.
It's all good, man. I definitely inherited a bunch of other hassles.
No, I was going to say, Covino, just think of that. For all the hassle you've had over your lifetime, you could say that at least one of them wasn't like contacts and glasses and all that shit. I'm 49. That's Lynn. It's bound to happen. Rolando, Jameis Winston got LASIK and it worked for one game apparently. Apparently LASIK's good for one game only, right, Jason Brown?
That's right. I forgot about that because he blamed a lot of his bad play, a lot of his interceptions and picks because of his LASIK sort of thing.
Ouch.
Or at least they justified it. They said it made a big difference for him. So,
well, I'll keep reading the feedback, but any other Jersey thoughts before we get into some of the stuff going on in the world today? I have a thought today that's might blow your mind, and it was not thought of in a drunk or high state. This is actually a thought I had in a completely sober mode.
When are you ever sober? You're always on something.
He's always on something.
Always on something.
Uppers, downers, uppers, downers.
Uppers, downers, uppers, downers.
The other takeaway is just, even though I haven't been here in a few years, you get here and it's sort of like, it feels like you never left, like pretty quick.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think, Covino, unless, as I told my friends or family back east, unless there was an opportunity for all of us to make a shit ton of money for something in New York, I can't see myself moving back there ever. However, you never say never. There is a part of the East Coast that probably feels really comfortable and nice to you, even though you're thinking, the weather and everything seems way more chill out here. But there's probably a part of you that's like, I could live this way if I wanted to.
I don't know if I'm attached to here. It's just not seeing my family that bothers me.
That's
really
a part of it.
It really weighs on me, especially again, not being able to see Melody. Like Melody is essentially a teenager. The last time they saw her, she was what? Fucking 9, 8. She's 11 now. Right. So that's a big jump from 8 to 11. So, when you live across the country and your family misses out on all that shit, that sort of stings and sucks, and you can't change that. But like you said, you can get on the Echo show.
Yeah, I think I thought about that like when Sarah's dad just walked Emmy to school with Sarah. He's going to leave before she gets back for school. So Emmy will then be like, I guess I'll see Grandpa again in, I don't know, maybe around the holidays, maybe in the winter. Who knows? And it sucks.
A lot of time in between, man.
Yeah,
a lot happens.
We, we seem to do a pretty good job of getting to New York and Texas, but it does sort of suck that no one's around here. And that I could see where you're like, man, it just sucks that Big Steve and Tent and your siblings know nothing about Jordan or your daughter.
Yeah, that sucks for me, man. That really weighs on me a lot, dude. Like a lot. Deep down, I don't dwell on it like consciously, throughout my day, but deep down, it probably is what keeps me up at night. And,
you missed the people, not the place. That's from Kim.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's from Crystal. There's like when I was in Texas for months when this house was being renovated, when I left, I was like, oh wow, I could have seen myself living there. You get in your routine, you see these people, and you're like, oh, now we're not going to see these people for a long time. That's sort of weird. That's sort of lame. Mm-hmm. And when you really embrace it, because when you leave New Jersey on Saturday, you're not quite sure when you're going back. It could be around the holidays. It could be next year. It could be next like winter. You don't know. So taking these moments.
Now that I pop my pandemic cherry, if all goes well, knock on wood, I'll be less reluctant moving forward, So, Rich, before we get into your deep thought,
yeah,
and again, we're getting into some rando news on this hump day. Let me give a few shout outs before I forget.
Shout outs.
Kristen Marie hit us up. Hey, Kristen Marie. She wants to wish Steve Clavette a happy birthday this Friday. Now, I don't think we're going to be doing a free Twitch Friday, so I wanted to wish him a happy birthday now. Kristen Marie, to Steve Clavette, all the best. Thank you, buddy. I know you've been listening for a long time. We appreciate it. Happy birthday. Thank you, Kristen. Eric Friedhaber.
Eric Weidenmayer?
Eric Friedhaber.
He's blind.
He's gay.
He's
What's up, bro? I've checked out
Everest.
that Bruce Lee show. I've checked out Warrior on HBO Max. Just appreciate your feedback. There's a lot of names that you recognize and you see, but you're not always calling them out. So, I see you. Thank you, buddy. Stony Brooks, Stony Homie, Freddie Ferrer. What's up, Freddie Ferrer? A lot of those guys hit me up about the Canelo thing we're going to get into later. A lot of people hit me up with that article, that story, that face-off between Canelo and Plant. But thank you, Stony Brooks and Freddie Ferrer. I appreciate you. You were one of the first. Thanks for all the feedback. We appreciate it. We really do. Thanks for everyone that bought our merch.
Oh, you know what I'm loving? I'm loving the people
What?
Posting photos of them with our merch.
Yo, it's so cool, man. Like it really means a lot. I don't even know.
Of all the things we do, it's the most,
Yeah.
honestly, Covino, it's the most humbling of all the things that we do. I don't know why. It's like, you could tell me you listen, you could watch our video, you could do everything.
Yeah.
When I see someone like, hey, I'm out and about in my town today and I'm wearing a shirt with of you guys. Like, there couldn't be anything more flattering.
Shout out to Mike Durbin for rocking the Spots Gym shirt.
Oh, shout out to
Shout
by
out.
the way, we'll repost them if you
Mike
hit us
Durbin.
up. If you hit us up on social media and tag us, we'll repost them. I know I just reposted someone.
Friedhaber.
Who was it? I'll tell you right now. Oh,
Thanks, Eric Friedhaber.
Lara on Fire posted a picture. She had the deep
He's
thought.
gay.
She had the Rich Davis deep thought shirt, and her man has the Big Steve's Turtle Museum shirt.
I love that shirt.
So yeah, people
Is
are
his name
posting
Her
photos.
Man on Fire?
Yeah,
Her Man on Fire?
Yeah, he's her man. She's Lara on Fire. It's her man on fire.
Herman on Fire.
And
Well, yeah, I saw that. Shit is so heartwarming, and it's
Yeah.
almost, like Rich said, it is really the most humbling sort of feeling, and really appreciate that. And that's just, again, we're not trying to make a buck. We're just trying to I don't know, give you something, make you feel like you're a part of it because you are. Shop.covinoandrich.com. Appreciate it. I know my parents got their shirts. I'll try to find them.
And
but
shout out to Franz too for his designs.
oh yeah, fuck yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah.
So
and
anyway,
by the way,
it's
Eric Friedhaber.
Friedhaber.
Free and
There's your shard out. Your shard out. Thank you,
Lynn,
Steve
did you
Cravette.
see,
Thank
did you see Lynn rocking her Awkward Burgers boobs?
Yeah, I saw that.
She's wearing the awkward.
It's on the boob.
She was wearing the Awkward Burger shirt, but everyone just was like, "Hey, nice boob." She's like, "Yeah, it's my shirt." A bunch of
Yeah, I
perverts
saw
just
that.
started saying, "Nice tatties," and she's like,
I saw Donnie Pompadour getting creepy on the Carl page.
"What else is
What
new?"
is? I mean, is it a
He's
a day that
I
ends
feel a
in
little
Y?
weird staring at your boob right now.
It's a day that ends in Y. Donnie and Pompadour is creepy.
Well,
Let me see if I could find the merch while you set up your thought, Rich.
I would
Yeah.
love to see the merch.
okay. Oh, by the way, I did see.
By the way,
One of our
while he's,
old-
while he's not here, can I make an observation?
Yeah.
When he's on a Zoom call, he talks like he's an old person on the phone. Did you notice that?
Well, he has a different.
He's like,
Diction.
hey, it's like he's like talking to someone like across the room,
Yeah.
and like he has that like phone voice.
Yeah, way to make fun of him before while he's gone.
We did this with
Oh,
you.
by the way,
when
see
you're
the
not
staircase in the back of Covino's house right there through the doorway?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the staircase that Double Diaz went through.
here. Really?
Yes, that's the staircase.
I thought they moved. No, I thought that was the old house.
No, that is. Hold on, yo, Cove.
Was Double Diaz this house or the old house?
No, that's the staircase behind you that Double Diaz went through, right? What?
No, I'm live.
Hey.
Hey, these are my dad's glasses. I saw them. I found them in the bedroom. How does
Hey,
these look
I was
better
saying
on me or
that
not?
the staircase,
crooked.
the staircase that you could see through the doorway, is that the one that Double Diaz went through?
No, that was my child. I didn't know you
I
could
thought
see
it was
that from
this
here.
house.
that
No,
was the old house, right?
That was I moved when I
Yeah,
was
I told
14,
you.
Right?
I told you.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's
that
not
was,
the
those
that's
were
not the
literally
double
days.
that's not the Double Diaz staircase.
No, that was the house that we pulled up on Google Earth recently, or we pulled up on Zillow. Remember that? That was that house. Yo, check this out before we move on. Shop.covinoandrich.com. I just want you to know how much my family supports what we do. My dad got these polos. Check it out.
Oh, sweet.
Oh wow, look at that. Hey, got my polos.
Yeah, look. He's got this one. He's got a burgundy one. Look, rocking the Union colors, bro. Union, New Jersey.
He
Check
got
it out.
2 polos. He must love polos.
Of course. He's my dad. Look. Yo,
That's-
by the way, I'm only bringing this up because the quality's really nice.
He must. By the
So-
way, how does your dad not love a shirt that's his shirt? Big Steve's turtle.
Hold
He
it up
must
higher.
love that
Hold it
shit.
up higher. I want to see it. Hold it up higher. The whole thing. I want to see the whole thing.
Big
Higher.
Steve's Turtle Museum.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's so great.
But I wanted to point out the quality of it. Like, you know, they're not those stiff cardboard
They're not Gildans.
swag
I didn't want
t-shirts. No, they're really nice. So, you know, I just want you guys to enjoy it because we are humbled by it. And when I hear that people maybe fucked up their glassware because they put it in the dishwasher,
Yeah, it
or
makes me feel bad.
they
Call
weren't,
that,
they weren't happy. I'm like, oh man,
They're-
I fucking feel terrible.
No, they're very good about. There was some sort of issue, so they're
The company
if
that's
you
doing
if
it,
that happened to you, reach out to the company that's doing it,
and they'll help you.
and they'll hook you up. But I am also looking into moving forward because our original set of pint glasses were laser etched. So that's something you can avoid. So I'm looking. It's going to cost more money, obviously.
But
these
laser, yeah.
pint glasses were dirt cheap,
Lasers.
but they'll be lasered. So I'm looking into that for the future.
Hey,
so we'll figure out something.
Spot, I just sent you a picture to wrap up the merch thing. And by the way, shop.covinoandrich.com. We really
It's
do
on the
appreciate it.
Bottom of your screen.
Little extra for us, a little extra for you. Something fun to do. The Covino and Rich shop, shop.covinoandrich.com. I sent you a picture of one of our good long-term pals that supported the show from day one. Oh, you know what? It didn't go through. Let me send it again. Wes in Idaho.
Oh my God, yeah.
He sent
Next level.
he sent a picture to us, and this is not the new merch, but
He's
he
next
got
level
he
supportive,
got
man.
some of the new merch. But over the years, look at all the shirts that Wes in Idaho has from the Covino and Rich show family.
Yeah,
it's
it's ridiculous.
unbelievable.
So appreciative.
I mean, I owe that guy a ball tickle, but I'll let Bree do it.
Yeah, Bree, can you give him extra ball tickle
Yeah, Bree,
from
can
us?
you Bree give him like an award-winning knobber and be like, that was from Covino Rich, but that sounds pretty gay. I sent it to you, Spot.
Okay, so Rich, dive into your deep thought
Okay.
while Spot pulls up the picture because Rich hit us up, and if you're not ready to embrace this thought, you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck's he talking about?"
By the way, Andrew saying that with the glasses on, you look like a really hot Geek Squad guy. I'm here to hang your flat screen. I'm from Best Buy.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here for the modem installation.
Did you try resetting it?
I'm here. I got my little car outside.
You know what it is? Maybe I should rock these so Jordan respects my intellect. What do you think?
I'm sorry, Spot.
I'm like, look, I play a buffoon on the radio, but let's not get it twisted. I'm not as dumb as I look sometimes. Maybe I gotta earn the respect by getting a nice pair of glasses. Maybe the glasses will help.
Could I tell you? See, here's the thing. I assume the thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people that are on our Patreon every day won't steal this idea, because that would be wrong, right? Like, you don't want to steal my intellectual property. Because I thought of an idea last night that you might say, how has no one ever done this? Or you're going to shut it down immediately with some explanation, and I'm going to feel better about it because then I don't have to like actually pursue it. Because I thought of an idea last night that I was actually going to call two of our friends that work in the production world, be like, yo, I have a fucking idea that I don't think's been done. I'm almost hesitant to tell you, but I have to tell you just because of my deep thought. And, you know, unless someone really wants to steal my shit, here we go. I was talking to Sarah's dad and Sarah on the way home yesterday about people's family trees and where they come from. And I remember I was telling you, Sarah's dad's always dropping fun facts like, Sarah's, there was a Hoots that was with, I don't know, who was it again? There was a
Hoot. Jebediah Hoots was the original Burger King.
Oh, yeah, Jebediah Hoots opened a Burger King and won a lawsuit versus Burger King. And then he's like, if you go back even further, Ezekiel Hoots fought alongside George Washington. And he has all these fun facts, and he got really into the family history. And I thought that was really cool, right? Because my dad is really weird about that. I'll ask my dad, like, yo, tell me about Grandpa, because I know my grandfather had a falling out with someone in the family, so I never knew part of the family. My dad's like, oh, yeah, they had a fight back in the day. I don't know, who knows, who cares? I'm like, yeah, but if Grandpa had a brother, Joe, and he happened to also live on Long Island, but they're estranged, how you have no desire to be like, I wonder whatever happened to Joe or his kids or his grandkids? Don't even talk about it. Like, my dad has zero care, and Sarah's dad's the opposite, where he's like doing family trees of finding out where the first Hoots came from.
Yeah, my dad's like your dad when it comes to that.
I'm like, yeah, but Dad. I love that shit. But Dad, Grandpa, yeah, my father, yeah, George had a brother, Joe. Where's he? Oh, they got in a fight about something in like 1950 something, and never talked again. Yeah, but he was on Long Island? Yeah. He had kids? Yeah, so that would be like my second uncles and cousins? Yeah, but don't worry. I'm like, Dad, maybe I...
So, second cousins once removed.
And then if like his wife tries to actually give me info... Oh, Nelly, don't talk about that.
No can do.
There was a fight about money, Rich, and there was it was about the grandmother or something. Oh, Nelly, don't bring this up. I'm like, Dad, but if you don't tell me and then one day you're gone, I will have zero clue about any of our history. Who cares? Live for the future.
I still don't know. There's one of my father's eldest brother.
Was off the radar, right? Like there was always a relative that's off the radar.
Disappeared. So he moved to Oklahoma, he was in the army, moved to Oklahoma, married someone that was a Native American. They had a whole family. There's cousins, there's grandchildren. I'm related to them. I never met them. Just because they were estranged, something went sour and never talked to him again.
And I could see from the feedback, Spot, that I am not the only one whose parents take a weird approach to like, hey, yeah, you have like estranged family members because so-and-so fought with so-and-so in 1962. And because someone fought with someone in 1962, we're just not family anymore. I find that crazy, but hey, my dad must have his reasons. To me, if I have like uncles and cousins out there, I would sort of want to know about it, but I guess some people don't care. So here's where I got my thought. Sarah's dad dropped the fun fact that I knew about this. There's a U.S. president. We couldn't figure out who it was, but there's a U.S. president.
Woodrow Wilson.
No. There's a grown man who's like a fucking old guy. And he's like the grandson of a president from like the 1800s. Isn't it like Zach Taylor? There's a former president, but Covino, I'm talking someone from like
Corey Taylor.
Corey Taylor is
Corey
related
Taylor,
to Zachary
yeah.
Taylor?
Yeah, he just wore a mask and everyone
Didn't
sort of
realize.
forgot. Yeah.
Who was
Insane.
there's a president spot. I'm telling you, a quick Google search will get you this. I never looked up who it was because my idea was grander. But there is a
Grander.
Oh, it is.
Grandest ideas.
There's a guy now, Covino. He's like an old dude. But his grandfather was like a president in the 1800s. Could it be Zachary
John Tyler.
John Tyler. John Tyler.
Lion Gardner Tyler's son is still living as of September 2021.
We're talking
Making
Covino.
John Tyler the earliest president to have living grandchildren.
John Tyler was president in what year?
John Tyler was born in 1790.
Motherfucker was born in 1790, became
He
president.
was the 10th president from 1841 to 1845.
He had a kid when he was way old. And then his kid had a kid when he was way old. So there's an old guy right now that's like, my grandfather was John Tyler. You know, the 10th president?
He died in 1862. He died during the Civil War.
His grandfather. There's a guy now whose grandfather died during the Civil War and was president. So my thought was, how do we glorify, and they're printed on money, and we hold our forefathers to the highest regard, right?
So the guy, he's 92, by the way.
92 years old, and his grandfather was the 10th president.
He was born in 1928.
And
Harrison Ruffin Tyler Sr.
And his child is Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. No.
Yes.
Thank you, Arch.
Yes.
If we put the likes of George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Abe Lincoln, all these legendary names in such a high regard, right? How come we never hear about people other than the Kennedys? How come there's no one living right now like, yo, my name's Tyler Lincoln. Yo, Abe Lincoln was my great-great-great-grandfather. Like,
Gabe Lincoln.
have all the forefathers' family trees diluted so much that there's no one in pop culture, social media popular, on a TV show, on anything where it's like, yeah, my name's, I'm Connor Lincoln. Oh, hey, Connor Lincoln. My great-great-great-great-grandfather was Abe Lincoln.
It's a great reality show premise, though.
Dude, that was my idea. In like a Keeping Up with the Kardashians or Growing Up Gotti. Like, what about like Growing Up Presidential? Like, find
Like all you
Find
need
the,
a
like-
house filled, and it'll be White House. A house filled with descendants of presidents.
Like, look at that. Look at that. You know who that is? It's Jessica Franklin. Who's Jessica Franklin? Oh, that's Benjamin Franklin's great-great-great-great-granddaughter. How come you've never in your life, in pop culture, Covino, think of the social media world, people want fame so badly.
I'm in his bedroom right now and you don't even care.
Yeah, isn't Tom Hanks related to like Abe Lincoln? Isn't that a thing? He's like his cousin or something.
I know, but you're trying to tell me, Spot, that, I mean, it's not 1,000 years ago. And I know the John Tyler thing is so peculiar because it was three old people back to back, right? That's why he's still living. But you're trying to tell me that in pop culture, in society, like Martin Luther King, like we know, like we've seen his kid. But other than the Kennedys, because remember Kennedy, his like nephew is like a politician and he did like a speech a couple of years ago? Like he's like a young redheaded kid.
Nobody cares about these people though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I want to see.
How do they not care?
See,
They're the descendants of our forefathers. Like, imagine being like, yeah,
I
my
don't
great
know
great.
why they just don't because they don't have money. They weren't prominent in that.
By the way, I know Ben Franklin wasn't a president. I'm talking about just like the legendary names of innovation in our,
the chick who was a descendant of Lincoln because she probably has a fat ass like Mary Todd.
Yeah,
but
right.
I mean, they have historical clout, but I mean, if people cared.
Dude, Covino, there's a TV show.
We just don't give a shit. Covino, it's been so long that no one cares about it.
I thought about this because
I'm trying to answer the question.
I'm thinking there's a show called Growing Up. I mean, it's not on anymore, but there was a show, Growing Up Gotti. We are super...
Irv Gotti?
We're super invested in like the kids and grandkids of a mobster, but no one would watch it.
Recent history.
But
no
one... Yeah, but you wouldn't be at all intrigued to... meet someone or learn about someone. Maybe it's not a reality show spot. Maybe it's an investigation. Like, we're going to now find the great-great-grandkids of Chester A. Arthur. Like, hey, my name's Steve Arthur. My great-great-grandpappy was Chester A. Arthur. No one cares?
No one cares.
Wow. People keep
am I wrong?
People
or no?
keep up with the Kardashians. They grow up Gotti. They watch Bachelor. They watch Survivor. They watch Naked and Afraid. But you wouldn't give a fuck about George Washington's like descendant?
I mean, it's cool on paper, but like they're so far removed from.
Mob Wives is a show, but this is
so
not.
far removed from their presidential connections.
No,
it's like, did you even give a shit like what Chelsea Clinton's up to? It's like, do you really care what the great-great-grandson of
by the way,
George Washington is up to?
Wes in Idaho said he would watch my show. I'm actually going to call our buddy Michael Brilliant, who works in TV production. I'm going to be like, yo, what do you think of this idea? Because I know he has connections at the History Channel, and I think there's something here. This might be the worst pitch or worst, what would you say, show. This might be the worst show treatment of all time.
This sounds like a bit you would watch on. It sounds like a bit you would watch on TikTok.
No, there's intrigue. I just think we're going to be let down more than we realize.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we don't care about this fucking guy because he's not the guy and he's so far removed. Like Spot said.
What you're going to say is like, we're going to be like, yo, today we're going to meet Abe Lincoln's great-great-great-grandson, and he's going to be some loser in a trailer park or something. Like, and we're going to be really disappointed. Like, you're Abe Lincoln's. Oh, disappointment.
Dude, if it was like,
how do you feel when you see pennies, man? You like, is it cool to you? You're like, what's this guy going to offer you that's of interest? I have his top hat. I bet he don't even have any of his shit.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
what
do you have of Abe Lincoln? Like, well, my dad got this from my grandpa, who got this from his grandpa. Apparently, this is Abe's, pants. Like, I don't fucking know.
I have his ascot.
Like Spot said, man, I don't want to repeat it, but on paper, there should be intrigue there. I just don't think there is.
Well, all right. Well, I wanted to throw it out there. By the way, Andrew Hart. Hold on. He goes, Rich, there are surely worse shows on TV. Go for it. You know what? I think Covino.
I got one better. Let's dig up all their bones, scrape off some DNA, recreate them, and then in 20 years, we could be like young presidents.
Spot.
That's what I'm talking about.
Spot.
That's a show. Young presidents.
I think Covino made, maybe not the best point, but Covino made the point that we're really banking on generations later, these people being interesting at all. Because while they're great-great-great-grandparents or uncles or aunts, like, they may be a descendant of someone awesome, but they might just suck.
Yeah, it's like when you see like Babe Ruth's fucking granddaughter or something. Like, she's some overweight fucking old lady. And she's like, yeah, what do you got from Babe Ruth? I got his nose. That's about it.
Yeah, I got his pig nose. I got Babe Ruth's pig nose.
I got his nose picking pig. I can see a little resemblance of Babe Ruth. And after that, I'm not intrigued anymore. You know, it's like, okay.
Tell me about Babe Ruth. Well, he was my grandfather, and
he loved hot dogs.
He liked hot dogs, and I got his pig nose, and man, it's like
and you've seen that, like, oh, Babe Ruth's daughter. Is it his daughter or his granddaughter?
Here's one of his jerseys. Isn't it great?
And you're like, oh, cool. After like the visual, you don't care what they have to say you're like, yeah, do I see any resemblance? She's some old fat lady. I don't really care about it.
Here's something interesting. Andrew Jackson's, I don't know if this is true, but from Harsh One, Andrew Jackson's great-great-grandson was his U.S. history, 8th grade history teacher.
See, that to me
What does he know
Listen,
about history?
you know what I think, Spot? I think it might be worth...
My grandfather.
It might be worth me saying, hey, TV production company.
Hey, ideas are just thrown out all the time, Rich.
I mean, think about all the shit you watch.
It's not the worst idea.
It's not
I
the
mean, I'll
worst
give you that,
idea.
Pete.
But I don't know. Like, you're right. Is it more investigative? Is it more reality show? Like, what would the concept be? Would it be? Is it interesting? Like Spot, I never even thought like have all the descendants of our forefathers living in a house like Big Brother,
The White House.
or is it more just interesting? Like each episode's like today, a fucking quick 20-minute episode, like those snack.
People don't care about our history. Like they look at those people like as fucking. They lived in a time where people don't even want to remember. They're tearing down their statues.
Yeah, especially now.
You know what I mean, like
they're like
so,
racist slave owners.
Yeah, like,
That's
oh,
how
so
they
your
look at them.
great-great-grandfather was a racist slave owner? Tell us about it. That's sort of the perspective that this country's coming from, unfortunately.
Maybe
Based on
Maybe this is
truth.
the different angle where
they're
it'll,
navigating their family legacy in a world of wokeness.
But like when you think of like those presidents, don't you think they're kind of corny with their fucking white wigs and their fucking high socks and their
no, I think
shoes
they're kind of like fucking legit. Like they're the men that they're the men that came together to form our country.
Bro,
I don't think
I
they're
get
corny
that.
because of their socks.
Just a bunch of old white guys who didn't want to pay taxes.
How do you think fucking?
Yeah, you may have
like,
you may have formed our country, but what's with the fucking socks?
I
The wooden
am
teeth.
on Team Rich. How do you think the rest of the country feels about, especially younger Americans, feel about these fucking people on our money? Yeah, these guys are weak.
Herbie Hancock.
Oh yeah, imagine it like John Hancock's great grandson is like a graffiti artist. He just like sprays his name everywhere.
And by the way, Crystal brought up a great point.
Cock.
It might be like too much to live up to where the person feels stupid. Like the person might feel stupid. She was saying like Martin Luther King's family, no one really had the fight he did, right? So take it outside of civil rights. Someone might be like, yo, in my lineage, I'm a descendant of Abe Lincoln. That guy changed the world. I work at fucking Staples. Like imagine that. Like imagine that's like,
You feel like a weak version of that person.
Like what's up? What? Oh, my name's I'm Todd Lincoln. Hey, what do you do, Todd? I work. I'm a sandwich artist at Subway. What was and like your great grandfather was Abe Lincoln? You said it.
Yeah.
Would you want a Coco combo?
Four meatballs and 7
You
subs
get any
ago.
sort of cool like American perks out of that or anything? No,
American perks.
Nope.
American perks.
Did you get any like extra ass cheeks back in the day because you were related to Abe
you get
Lincoln?
like a-
Nope, not at all.
You at least get like a free subscription to like Smithsonian Magazine.
Yeah. Do you have like any cool stories
get to,
about
like,
your
Free
great-great-great-grandfather?
entries into museums
Did
that
they let you try on the Fonz jacket from the American Museum of History?
No. Anyway, that was my thought.
Do you get to sit on the woolly mammoth at the Natural History Museum?
Not only that, put it in your own perspective, right? What do you know about your great-great-grandfather? Even your great-great-grandfather. What do you really know about your great-great-grandfather that is relevant to you as a person?
I know. I know that my great grandfather was a very well-known
Blacksmith.
book binder. He bound books before machines did it. I guess he that's all I know. My grandfather was a cop in the Bronx, and my family seems to not care beyond that.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, besides the name, what sort of impact are they really going to have on them as people? I don't know.
Maybe it's a
But
short.
either way,
Maybe it's a
cool
history.
thought.
Maybe
it's crazy to know.
You haven't picked up a book in your life.
Maybe it's a history.
You're ashamed to the family name.
Maybe it's a History Channel interstitial thing, like their little 10-minute segments or something, like catching up with.
I would watch this.
So I'm going to pitch it.
I'd watch the first episode, but there needs to be some sort of cliffhanging drama.
Okay.
Like Lincoln's great grandson calls out like Washington's great granddaughter, and like, or they have sex or something.
Or maybe it's like maybe it's not a feel good piece. Maybe it's like, how did your family go from the White House to like living here? That's sort of rude. Then it's
Presidential Boy Island.
Like Fuckboy Island.
Fuckboy. What's that other one?
Too hot to handle. Presidential edition.
Too presidential to handle.
All right. Well,
Too presidential to handle.
all right.
There it is.
There you have it.
There's your show.
That was my
On
deep
an
thought.
island.
But Covino, it blends into another thought, and we'll get to some news alerts. Like I know that the sad
Wednesday?
reality. The sad reality is that Gabby Petito, her body was found. We did mention that yesterday or no?
We did.
Or was it after the show?
No, I think it was yesterday.
I don't think we mentioned that it was confirmed.
It was confirmed.
Oh, it was confirmed yesterday.
It was confirmed.
And the cause of death as well.
And the cause of death was homicide, which but they have not revealed what that means, whether it's blunt force trauma, strangulation, stabbing. Like they haven't released what homicidal category it falls under. But the kid, the dude, the fiance, Laundry, is still missing. And there's footage of a dude in
Fuck that guy.
grainy black and white footage on some guy's deer lease. There's other footage, like a picture someone took from their car window of a guy walking down the street, but that might not be him because it looked like that guy had a tattoo. I don't know, man. Do you think we're going to find this kid or what?
He's somewhere. People are always.
I think so.
We found. Was it Saddam Hussein was in the hole?
Saddam Hussein was in a hole.
We found him.
Osama bin Laden was in like a random little.
Yeah, we
house.
We found Saddam Hussein in a hole. We can find Brian Laundrie. They're looking for him. The web sleuths are out and about.
Can I tell you that the web sleuths are doing just as good a job as the police?
That's what you think.
Well,
because you only see the investigations from the web sleuths.
But the web sleuths are the ones.
But you don't know what the fucking FBI is up to.
The web sleuths are the ones that found the video of the car, so you can't say that, right? The video of the van.
Yeah, but you're talking one web sleuth out of how many?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying
thousands of people probably fucking up the story.
But no, hold on. I'm not saying the police are not and the FBI are not doing their job. I'm saying cases like this now are relying on citizens to come forward, and footage and videos and all this stuff that is what's putting this puzzle together.
That's one thing.
That's evidence. That's just evidence.
That's evidence.
Yeah.
That's gathering evidence. But people thinking that they're actually finding
they would
this
not
guy,
have, they would not have found the body if not for the video of that van.
That's
not a web sleuth, though.
That's not a web
just
sleuth.
That someone had evidence.
Yeah, that's someone who came
those
forward.
Those are bloggers.
No,
that happen to be on the same path. And I'm just saying,
I think you're confusing the two.
All right, I'm just saying we live in the information age now, where the average citizen could very well contribute to an investigation just based on.
What is it? 2001? The information age? The information superhighway.
How do you not understand what I'm saying? How do you not see that without the internet, without phones, without people blogging and taking meaningless videos, we would not. I could promise you, they would not have found this poor girl.
I just think there's access to more material, but there's a difference.
But it's not coming from the police. They're giving it to the police.
Yeah, but there's a difference between gathering evidence and people going out on their own trying to solve a mystery, which is what the web sleuths do.
And spreading, false information.
And spreading false
theories.
information. People contact if you're looking at your video, like this person looked at their video, they submitted it to the police, but then they also posted it online, and then the web sleuths did their own investigation. But the police already had the video of the van and knew the location and were doing all this shit before the web sleuths got a hold of it.
It's basically crowdsourcing detective work, and that's from Kenneth. And I'm not saying, of course, there's going to be wrong leads and stuff, but when we live in a world that has the information highway, when we live in a world where honestly everyone's got a phone in their hand, everyone's got webcams, and everyone's got
not Mystical.
Everyone travel.
Mystical came here with his dick in his hand.
Every Uber driver and Lyft driver and a lot of truck drivers have dash cams that are constantly running. Covino, footage is more accessible than ever before. So if you're trying to track someone down, way easier now than ever before to track someone down based on surveillance and dashboard cams and cell phones and smartphone, everything. I'm just saying, I'm not saying the web sleuths are the definite ones solving the crime, but they're helping. You can't deny they're helping.
I don't know if they're helping. Like I said, I'm on team Spot, not to aggravate you. Like, I think you're not confusing, but you're combining. You're combining web sleuths and people that provided evidence.
That's true. Okay,
I don't know. I don't know what good the web sleuths have done. I really don't. I don't know if they've gotten or gathered any information that authorities weren't able to gather and figure out on their own without the evidence provided by other people. Yeah, there's definitely been evidence provided by people that has proven to be helpful. I don't know what the sleuths have done. I don't know. You could be right.
That's still obviously one of the biggest stories in the world.
Yeah, sad.
I did want to bring up another deep thought I had, and then we'll go over news. We have plenty of time to go over all the news that's going on in the world of sports, entertainment, life.
I'm still absorbing this presidential thought you had.
Well,
I'm going to take a shit later on. It's going to hit me like, yeah, maybe people will like that show. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Well, I have another thought. Now, I think it's because my commonality with my father-in-law is that we both love watching like random history stuff. So that's like that's our fun little thing to watch or bond over. Like we're watching all these like old little docu-series. Like, the ones that you spoke of, the foods that built America, those are great. But you know what we started watching last night? The other
Machines that built America.
The Machines that built America. There's only 4 episodes. We watched the one about Henry Ford, and Sarah's dad's like, well, I wonder how they're going to spin this one. I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, surprise, Henry Ford hasn't been canceled yet. And I was like, oh, tell me more. And well, first of all, we watched the 20-minute quick docuseries on History Channel, and Henry Ford was such a prude. The fun fact you come out of, did you watch that one or no?
Yeah.
He made the back seat of the Model T Ford smaller because he was so pure that he hated the idea that people were having sex in the back of their Model T cars. He redesigned the Model T Ford.
So the Model T did the opposite of what you want a car to do, like get you ass.
Yeah, like the Model T he was like, I do not want people having sex in my cars.
Yo, that car is the weakest car ever, yo.
And then you realize, like, again, like Coke and Pepsi, like Domino's and Pizza Hut, like everyone that needs competition. You don't realize that before the world, especially the United States, was inundated with foreign cars and Hondas and Hyundais and BMWs and Mercedes. There was the for decades, like Chrysler, GM versus Ford. It's like the biggest battle going on. But did you know that Henry Ford was a pretty like racist, shitty guy that was friends with Hitler? Like,
I mean, I'm not surprised,
Adolf
right?
Hitler. You have to do a little more research. Henry Ford was almost openly anti-Semitic, and Henry Ford is the only American that Adolf Hitler has openly complimented and praised. So Henry Ford, after all the let's start teaching kids that Thanksgiving isn't really what it was. Let's cancel Christopher Columbus. Let's cancel this. How is Henry Ford off the hook?
Ford Motor Company. Peace out.
Like how? I mean, I know he's long dead and gone, but is it because he invented something so crucial that we're like, he gets a free pass, like Michael Jackson gets a free pass because his music was so good? If Henry Ford is a fucking anti-Semitic friend of Hitler.
Maybe it just feels so far removed to people. I don't know. Or people are unaware of this fun fact. They haven't watched or did their investigation. They haven't done their research. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, Jordan just set us up. He goes, Jordan Brodsky goes, yo, Ford was openly anti-Semitic, Rich. Not like sort of. He was. It really is an interesting little docuseries. The Machines that built America. I'm going to watch the Harley Davidson one tonight.
And the Indian, yeah, it's awesome.
The Harley Davidson, where Harley and Davidson apparently want to make bicycles go faster. That's the description. So I'm curious to see how that unfolds and how they came up with everything. But Henry Ford was not a great man, but because he invented Ford Motor Company, and now we're talking about everything from F-150s to, we forget, in the 90s, Covino, the Ford Escort was like the car. What the Honda Civic and Accord are now, where it's like, what's the most reliable, reasonable car? You would probably say, well, like the Civic, Accord, maybe a Toyota Camry or something, right?
Yeah.
The Ford Taurus and the Ford Escort were like the number one selling cars. I totally forgot
sure.
that stage where everyone had like a
Really?
Ford.
Yeah.
A Ford Taurus was number one.
I mean, for again, we were younger people back then. So yeah, it was that cheap entry level car that a lot of young people and old people had, but especially a lot of our young friends. Like, I think I was driving a Nissan Sentra to someone else's Ford Escort.
Yeah, that was the big one. The Ford Escort was weak, but everyone had one of those. And by the way, a lot of feedback saying, yeah, man, he was a real piece of shit. Mark S. said, true piece of shit.
Yeah, but you know what, man? I think we have established or accepted that a lot lot of from back then were giant pieces of shit.
No, this
he
is
just
different.
was an
This is
exceptional
different.
piece of shit.
This isn't like, oh, that president had a slave, but hey, everyone had a slave. This isn't like, hey, he made racist jokes in the 60s. Well, I mean, everyone made racist jokes in the 60s. We're talking, when you do a little further research, you're like, Henry Ford was like, yo, Hitler's my dude. It wasn't like, for the times. No, he was a piece of shit. But he invented the Ford and changed cars. He gets a free pass? Is that what we're thinking?
Model T. No ass. No models in that T, though. No ass.
No ass in that car.
No T.
It's a weak car, yeah.
So that was my second thought. The same way, I wrote two more examples of historical things. One was more recent. Michael Jackson. Like, we cancel R. Kelly, we cancel other people, but Michael Jackson was like, yo, I mean, he's dead, and man, the music's so good. We sort of like say, all right, he's okay. And someone else brought up Disney, Rich. Mike Wheeler said, do a deeper dive on Walt Disney, and he's not necessarily the best fella. I've heard that as well.
Right
right?
up when it comes to anti-Semites. People are like, yep, Walt Disney.
Walt Disney.
Definitely the
Henry Ford.
The person that people love to bring up.
And you know what?
I would say in modern history, it's you hear Walt Disney more than you hear Ford.
Yeah, no, it's true. And people seem to be like, well, they got rid of some of the old racial stuff like Song of the South and a couple things, but they're saying like beyond that, like Walt Disney, Henry Ford, there were some pretty powerful men that did great things for the bigger picture, but as people, they were pieces of shit. And it's weird, right?
I mean, we have to figure this stuff out even today, like separating the man from the artist, right? And I think that's just what people probably did then. Now we got to separate the piece of shit from the guy who made this invention.
Yeah, I mean, like Wes in Idaho says, the past is the past. Welcome to the future and move forward. So if that's the sentiment, I'm not disagreeing with Wes, but what I'm saying is, where's the cutoff? Like, if someone was a piece of shit 10 years ago,
I mean, there's
they're a piece
guys
of
in
shit,
the
but if someone
NFL
was
that allegedly killed people, right? So, and we turned not a blind eye, but we say, oh, I guess I accept the football player, just not the man. And it's just the same line of thinking.
It's like we don't like the man Henry Ford, but God, the guy look what he did for the cars and society.
As far as innovation, you just got to give him his due there. It doesn't mean you're like a fucking fan with a Henry Ford pennant in your bedroom because you love him as a person.
So
I don't think a lot of, I'm not sure I knew that, Rich. So yeah.
Fun fact. Hey, I mean, not such a fun fact, but we can move forward, but you have to know the past to learn from it and not repeat it. That's from Jordan. Yeah. One other person I want to put in that category of gets a free pass. Speaking of my presidential show idea, free pass given out on a major level to John F. Kennedy.
On what? Hey, when you're a handsome president, you get free pass and free ass.
Yo, Bill Clinton, people consider a piece of shit because of all the indiscretions and Monica Lewinsky and everything going on. Donald Trump, grab her by the pussy, piece of shit. Everyone loves to say Clinton, Trump. I just saw an article come out yesterday about another one of JFK's old mistresses, like said something on her deathbed or came forward with something. And I'm like, yo, JFK openly was just philandering around town. But is it because who
someone
cares?
dies, Rich, they're not talking about like all the bad things they did, right? It's just in bad taste.
Yeah.
Right. So when someone's assassinated, they're not going to lead with, what a terrible guy he was. They become martyred in that way. Like, think of every rock star. A lot of these rock stars that we idolize, they were like dark, fucked up people in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
But we martyr them like they were the greatest things ever because they took their own lives, or they were murdered, or they died at an early age. This guy was assassinated. So no one's going to lead. It'd be in bad taste to lead with, yeah, well, he fucking was a piece of shit of a guy. It's just we like to rewrite our own history, I guess.
I'm just saying, how you're sort of surprised sometimes on who gets canceled and who doesn't get canceled and who gets.
I mean, he was canceled in a different way.
But I'm saying,
and I think that's why people don't really.
But I'm saying, you ever think though how there's some people that you're like, wow, they really went after that person, but they didn't go after that person? It's almost like a weird, how you say how you can never really figure out why and who goes viral.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can almost never understand who and why someone becomes the person everyone wants to go after.
I do. I swear, it's a really lame example. I didn't watch Bachelor in Paradise last night, but when you see the mob mentality and how people operate, which is the intrigue of the show,
yeah,
one person could do something that's so fucked up, right? But everybody likes him. Another person could do the same exact thing that's so fucked up, but nobody really likes him. So they fucking all gang up on that guy. John F. Kennedy, whether you depending on what you believe as far as his discretions, everybody fucking liked the guy for the most part.
Yeah.
So I think that has something to do with it. Like, was he charming? Was he likable? All of those things do matter.
People are saying that Joe Paterno. There's a lot of people that turned a blind eye to Joe Paterno. Like, yeah, I love Penn State football and he's a great coach. Yeah, but like you're cool with like him sort of knowing like creepy, weird shit was going on and nothing? Penn State won a lot of football games. There's people that are like, who cares?
Yeah, it should be consistent, right? But just sometimes it isn't. I gave you one example as to why. Again, John F. Kennedy, people loved that guy. So they don't want to think about it. A lot of times they are in denial of the truth. It's like people loved him so much. And again, he was martyred so much because he was murdered. And, it's a terrible story that people want to overlook things like that. It's like you're, never mind. People believe what they want to believe.
Now, JFK, Ford, Michael Jackson. The lesson we learned is if you're loved enough or contributed enough to society, people seem to go a little easier on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're likable or contributed, we sort of say, it's okay that you're a piece of shit.
I think your likability has a lot more to do with that.
Yeah.
Or how important was your innovation or what you provided to us as people.
Well,
for example, Michael Jackson and Ford. Like, yeah, I don't know, but then I can't, you can't cancel.
Without
Don't
these,
stop till I get enough.
Without these two, I might not be driving this car listening to this great song.
Right. So, I mean, it's easy to cancel a guy that didn't fucking give us this great innovation and invention. It's easy to cancel a band you never fucking heard of because they diddled some kids. But it's kind of hard to not listen to Billie Jean.
Yeah. Matt hit us up and said, Martin Luther King. Hate to bring him into it, but he was also known as like a womanizer that had a ton of mistresses. But, he's Martin Luther King Jr. People are going to be like, look at what he did. He did a lot of good. So
exactly. The good outweighs the bad in a lot of these scenarios. Did you do enough good to outweigh the bad? Were you likable? These are all factors as to why, to answer your question, I guess.
Just a deep thought when you do realize that society becomes very picky and choosy, and there has to be an equation. I think we sort of figured it out. Likability plus contribution. If that scale is high enough,
it's overlooked.
You slide by.
Yeah.
Hey, did you invent the first like affordable car? Oh, fantastic. Your anti-Semitic will overlook it, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, you make the best music in decades. You may have diddled kids. You're a piece of shit. But you're dead, and, well, your music was good, so we're not going to cancel it.
So
You won a lot of football games. We'll look past the fact that you might have murdered someone.
what's the feedback saying?
People are agreeing. You can't cancel Ford. He's been dead for 80 years. And what are you going to do? Hand your car back?
Yeah, John F. Kennedy was killed. He was assassinated.
Everyone with a Ford F-150 going to say, well, not anymore. Of course. They love their Ford F-150s.
Martin Luther King, again, another guy assassinated.
Yeah.
So who's going to lead with that in bad taste?
Yeah. So,
he did a lot of great things. It's a shame they killed him. But let's talk about his discretions.
Yeah. It also popped in my head because I did see Spot. See if you can find why it popped up. Like one of JFK's mistresses, who I'm guessing would have to be like an old lady on her deathbed, or it was in a memoir. But JFK, it's like another JFK mistress, and I'm like, another. I mean, good for his penis.
Oh, JFK's aide, Diana DeVee.
Yeah, he was banging his aide.
One of his former lovers comes forward in her own words for the first time. Yeah. She was
mesmerized by JFK.
Whose other words was she using in the past?
After decades of silence, madly in love affair.
By the way, what an interesting thought. This woman lived her whole life in love with JFK.
She's an 83-year-old grandmother who's legally blind.
Yeah. Sounds like a Jezebel.
She had like a relationship
blind from all the sex.
But Covino, think about this. This woman lived her whole life with a deep buried secret that she used to get it on with John F. Kennedy and couldn't tell anyone. And then finally she's in her 80s and like a great grandma, and she's like, well, when I was younger, I got to tell you, I used to bang JFK. I had to say it. She's a looker. Look at her. She's cute. Scroll down a little bit more, Spot. Let me see your face the other way.
I wish this one.
Oh yeah, she's a cute woman.
She looks like Sarah Paulson. I wish Monica would have done that.
I mean, geez. So product is separate from the person. Ta-da! The end. I think we stirred up some drama on the Covino and Rich page, though.
Why couldn't Monica do that?
About what?
I saw Wes saying something like, "You can't judge someone for their past," and then Bree, his girl, was like, "Oh yeah, Wes, remember that." And I'm like,
oh shit!
What does that mean?
Oh shit!
What does that mean?
Trauma show.
Shit!
Yo, Wes and Bree, what does that mean?
You could clearly feel that Rich fell down a wormhole of History Channel for the past week or so.
Which of them has syphilis? That's what I want to know.
So those are Rich's historical deep thoughts. But it's getting late early, Rich. I want to make today's Wednesday show topical. There's some funny stories actually in the news, and I love hearing your takes on these things.
Yeah. Let's start with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor throws out a first pitch and
weakest mechanics ever.
No, the weakest. Oh, actually, no. The weakest mechanics ever are the ones who worked on my car before I got it.
The weakest mechanics ever were the ones that worked on a 2006
Mini Cooper.
Mini Cooper.
By the way, my new mechanics are fucking fantastic, but the old mechanics were the fucking worst.
They were so bad. Spot didn't realize they weren't actual mechanics. They were actually Mike and the Mechanics, the music group.
Right.
McConnor. Yeah, Conor McGregor's in the news. Threw out the first pitch at Chicago at Wrigley. And, so many times we see this, and I guess it makes sense. To be so great at one thing, I guess it takes and requires most of your focus. Like, he's just clearly not a well-rounded athlete. He's a great fighter. He's a great mixed martial artist, but the dude can't throw a fucking ball.
You know what it is? There's two things, Covino. There's a justification of like, well, I guess when you're when you're an elite athlete, you're so honed in on one sport. But then the other sentiment is, how could someone that's so athletic to be an elite fighter, an elite baseball player, an elite football player, an elite basketball player, that throughout their life, like, I'm making this point, just bear with me. I'm making this point just to make it make sense. I was always a decent athlete growing up. Never played.
But I think that's the difference, Rich.
No, but I'm saying never played on an elite level on anything. But I always held my own. Like, I could play pickup basketball. I could throw a nice spiral. I played baseball. I could, but to the point where I would never look foolish doing anything. But I know what you're going to say is that I'm not great at anything. But I could shoot a 3-pointer and no one would ever say, what's with the mechanics? I have good mechanics. I could throw a nice spiral. I could throw a baseball. I could swing a bat. I could swing a golf club. I could swing a tennis racket. I'm amazed how the most elite athletes can't do something else. Like Kevin Durant throwing out a first pitch looks like, and I'm like, yeah, that's fucking Kevin Durant.
It's pathetic. I think that in this case, you have a guy who's extremely athletic, but just not a great athlete, if that makes sense.
But Kenneth brought up a great point that I was also going to say. When I see foreign dudes, when I say foreign dudes, meaning guys from Europe or Japan, Asia, anywhere around the world, we forget that throwing a baseball is sort of a very Americanized thing. I know baseball is worldwide, and I get it. But maybe Conor McGregor never fucking played baseball in his life. Do you think Conor McGregor in Ireland was playing baseball as a little kid? No, he's fucking scrapping and fighting. So maybe Conor McGregor doesn't know how to throw a baseball because he's never thrown one. But the simple fact that a guy with that athletic ability threw a pitch like this, Spot, please play it. I mean, by the way, Dickie Do-Right can do everything. Not great, Lynn, but it's sort of like, it's like, all right, DK Metcalf struck out in a celebrity softball game. You mean the fastest, most fucking human specimen of a wide receiver in the NFL can't hit an underhand pitch in a celebrity softball game? Again, do you rather be a master of one or a jack of all? To me, I don't know, man. Let's go to the videotape, Warner Wolf style. Look at Conor McConnor. There he is. Look. Threw the ball. No joke. Like 50 feet behind where a right-hand batter would...
Spot, I'm not hearing you guys.
He's not hearing us, Spot.
Oh, really?
Are you hearing me, Covino?
Oh, wait, hang on.
Sorry, everybody. Not sure what happened there.
You know what? Hang on.
Won't happen again.
Hang on.
What does hang on mean? Should I talk? Are people hearing me or am I talking?
You're okay.
Okay.
It's him.
Can you guys hear me? Blink twice if you could hear me. Master of one can make you a lot of money. Jack of all makes you nothing. But I know, but if you're not going to be a professional, then I sort of like the ability to play a game of pickup basketball or go play softball or
to me,
throw a
it's
football
knowing
around.
The basics, bro. How do you just not know the basics?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess
I
you're
don't
so
think it
honed
requires
in.
any or deserves any bragging right at all that you could throw a perfect spiral, that you could shoot a basket. Like to me, that's just the bare minimum.
Agreed, Covino. That's why I'm saying
they didn't even learn the bare minimum, which is head scratching to me. I don't get that.
Yeah, to me, it's not a brag. I'm not saying like, man, I could do it all. But I assume every guy that's chiming in now and woman could probably do the basics that you would learn growing up. Like Covino, throwing a spiral, throwing a baseball, shooting a basketball with the right form, not awkwardly swinging a tennis racket or swinging a golf club. Like there's things that you don't want to look like a fool doing.
You would think.
So I'm saying if you are worth hundreds of millions of dollars because you could fight, shoot a basketball, hit a baseball, you're trying to tell me in your path from the time you were an infant until now, you weren't even decent at anything else? So you were like the fucking best at one thing and sucked at everything else?
I mean, maybe he's good at soccer,
like Kevin Durant.
Or some
you're
other
trying
shit.
to tell me like Kevin Durant. I always think of because he couldn't throw out a fucking pitch at a baseball game. You're trying to tell me in Kevin Durant's life, no one ever said, "Yo, hey Kev, you're like 6'10". You ever think about pitching? You'd be like Randy Johnson." No one ever thought that. Like, never touched a baseball.
You would just think that his
DK Metcalf was never told, yo, you're fucking huge and the strongest guy in this whole city. Here's a baseball bat. You think you can hit a ball 400 feet? You probably could.
Right. You would think out of curiosity and just God-given ability or potential, they would have learned some of this stuff along the way. Just because clearly they like competing in sports, but maybe they were just so one-track minded and had these blinders on that they didn't go past that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you brought up fights. There's another story. There's actually a lot of stories. You know what? Before we get into fights, I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's make these quick.
Yeah.
I don't want to harp on them too much. The rando news of the day, Wednesday, Covino and Rich. You know Kevin Kiermaier? This is a funny story.
There's
The
two
Tampa Bay
stories.
Rays.
There's two stories with this guy.
Tampa Bay Rays Kevin Kiermaier, right, slides into home, tagged out by the Toronto Blue Jays, right? But in the midst of this melee, this little collision at the plate, this play at home, the catcher, Alejandro Kirks, dropped a little piece of paper out of his pocket. And you see Kevin Kiermaier pick it up in a mischievous sort of way. Watch. You'll see the clip. Now he's out at home. Bam. Watch. A piece of paper falls out of the catcher's pocket. He picks it up. Then he looks behind him, though. Watch. Did anyone see me? Did anyone see me get that? Right? Now, the piece of paper that he picked up. Remember, this is a tight race in the AL East.
Hold
right?
on 1 second. By
Every
the way,
game counts.
my bigger question is, who sent him?
Yeah, I know,
He,
right?
he rounded third as the right fielder had the ball almost on the
Dead
infield
duck.
dirt. Like, that was a dead duck if I've ever seen anything.
Dead duck, but not the story. Yeah, I don't know why he went. Paper drops out of the catcher's pocket. Alejandro Kirks of the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Kiermaier picks it up. Like, oh, what's that? Knows it's not his. Looks over his shoulder. Did anyone see me pick this up? I mean, dude, you're on camera. It turns out it's the pitching scheme, the plan on how the Blue Jays wanted to approach the Rays batters, right? Like, and the Blue Jays and their management said, hey, that thing you picked up, that's our game plan. That's our pitchers and catchers notes on how we're going to approach each batter. Can you hand that back? And he declined. He denied. He said no. So that's the funny part of the story. It's like, yo, people criticized Houston for cheating, right? He's blatantly saying no. And then he's playing it off that he thought it was his. He thought it fell out of his own pocket. He said he keeps his own notes in his back pocket.
Okay.
He thought it was his when he picked it up.
Yeah, sure
But
you did, pal.
Beyond other speculation says otherwise. Like, nah, he knew what that shit. He knew it wasn't his, and now he refuses to give it back, which makes people just scratch their head a little bit and say, "Huh, I don't know if that's awesome or if I should feel some type of way about that."
Well, Alejandro hit us up with an old school Covino.
Alejandro Kirks.
Alejandro said, yo, as Covino would say back in the day, finders, keepers, losers, weepers.
Sweepers. So he has all this, the game plan against his team, and he won't give it back to the Blue Jays. And it's a little bit of a interesting story. Never saw that shit before.
It's funny you would say Kevin Kiermaier because a couple of the ladies chimed in saying he is a beautiful specimen of a man. Is he like a handsome? You're an AL
He's
East
also
type
a
of guy.
thief.
But he's an AL East guy. Is he like an unknown stud in your baseball division? Do you know much about Kevin Kiermaier?
I know the name. I've never noticed, to be honest.
It's funny you brought him up because I didn't see this play where he stole the notes, but yesterday he also did something that I thought that's what you were talking about. So here's a guy that I really don't know much about other than his name. Oh, he is handsome. Look, he's a handsome guy.
Who was that Cleveland Indian dude who was real handsome, ladies, like back in the day, like in the early 2000s?
Cleveland Indian?
He was a Cleveland Indian, yeah.
Oh, Roger Dorn? No, I'm sorry. It's Jake Taylor.
Oh, no, it was a young Bartolo Colon. That's who I'm thinking of. Anyway,
I'm sorry. Were you talking about Rick Vaughn?
Can't think of the guy's name. But I remember there was like a heartthrob back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
I mean, who's like a handsome baseball player? He's no
Dennis Eckersley. I say it because he looked like my dad.
Who's like the handsome baseball player? Yeah, look at this guy. He loves dogs.
Kevin Kiermaier. He's a thief.
And quite a looker. He's no David Wright. Thirst Trap of Kevin Kiermaier. Let's see it, Spot. Look at the abs. Well, anyway, this guy, He was on the plays of the day, Covino, not because he stole the notes. The spot, I know I'm putting you on the spot. What's your name? He made a great catch in the outfield, and then he spun his glove on his finger like a fucking basketball. And everyone's like, yo, that's dope.
And he's got tricks. He's got tricks, too,
Please see. It's, I think Barstool Sportsbook put it on their social. Let me see if that's where I saw it. On Instagram, Barstool Sportsbook, maybe? All right. Hey, hold on. Let's see.
No one knows the handsome Cleveland guy. Maybe I was the only dude that thought he was handsome.
Oh, yeah, look at this. Look at this.
Into center.
Look at this, Cove.
Ball is going to be caught. A slow no. They say that he did not come up with it. A long look out there by Nick Lenz, and it appeared that Kiermaier was going to make a sliding catch.
And everyone's like, well, yo, what's it the slick little move?
Well, let's take
a solid move.
Closing. That was unbelievable how he got in there.
Cool move.
I've never seen it. So two things. This guy is the highlight of two things I haven't seen in baseball in all my years of watching.
Yeah.
So that happened. Let's see. Axl Rose.
Well, hold on. Before you do that, let's take some feedback and phone calls.
Okay.
412, the letter C in our show spot. Who do we have? Jim, Charlotte. What's up, Jim?
Hey, Jim.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's up, man? Happy retirement, man.
Hey, thank you very much. Age 60 and out the door. I'm proud of it.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. The baseball player you're looking for is Grady Sizemore.
Oh, was that the stud? Was Grady Sizemore the stud?
Yeah.
And then it was Grady Sizemore.
Yeah. And then just a quick heads up for tonight on ABC. You've got the season premiere of the Goldbergs. It's their last season, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, good one.
And also the season premiere of the reboot of The Wonder Years. That's certainly worth a look, with a black family in 1968.
You know what? I'm glad you told me that, Jim, because I feel like Sarah and I are caught up on the Goldbergs. It became more of a background show because I feel like as the kids on that show got older, I did lose a little interest, but it's still a great show. And you said, Covino, they got to pay tribute to Paps on the first episode. So Goldbergs tonight and the new Wonder Years, which I'm excited to watch as well. Don Cheadle,
He's right
right?
about Grady Sizemore too. Yeah, that was the guy.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. It's good to hear from you, man.
Sure. Okay, guys, take it easy.
Later, bud. Spot.
Appreciate it.
Grady Sizemore. Any sexy headshot with like frosted tips from the 90s? I feel like he's the type of guy that had like frosted tips.
I just remember, the ladies liking him back in the Jeter days. Like, oh,
yeah,
Jeter's
by the
cool,
way,
but
we got
Grady Sizemore.
We got feedback of other people saying, yeah, you're probably thinking of Grady Sizemore. And what
Yeah,
a great and by the way,
handsome.
what a great last name, Sizemore.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way,
So-
if Jordan married him, she'd only have to adjust her name slightly.
And they'd still think of her boobs.
Yeah,
Sizemore.
So just quick passing stories. You don't need to harp on them too much, but ones that stood out to me. Axl Rose is joining the team of Vince Neil and Don Dokken. Those are two guys you don't want to be associated with when it comes to like your performance. And we all knew Axl Rose didn't have the same Axl sort of pipes that he used to, but apparently it's gotten worse. Maybe he's blowing out his voice on tour, but what happens is these guys get old. They're not in the best shape, and they just can't sing the way they used to, man.
Sucks.
And
It's
he's one
sad
of
to
those
see.
guys. But you also got like he's a victim of his own awesomeness. Those are hard notes to hit. Think of Axl Rose. You think he's got the energy to fucking hit those notes? Guy can't catch that kind of breath at his age. So he is getting extra criticism on all these websites and people, posting videos of how shitty he sounds. And it's sort of disheartening because Guns N' Roses is one of the coolest fucking bands ever. So when you start hearing that feedback, you're like, geez, no, yeah, I feel bad.
Yeah.
So Axl is slowly joining the Vince Neil sort of Dokken club, unfortunately. You mentioned fights before, Rich. I mean, if Spot wants to pull up a video, that's fine, but we don't need to.
Well, I think it's worth the visual for our tier 2 people because tier 2 is now the new standard, as I say.
No, those notes are so hard to hit. Imagine trying to belt them out in front of 50,000 people.
We already
not easy.
We already saw McConnor with his terrible first pitch. Canelo Alvarez is fighting Caleb Plant, and I know that name because you've talked about him. And not to name drop, I feel like either we had him on our ESPN show back in the day, or we've talked to other fighters about fighting him, because I know the name. He's like he's a guy on the rise, right?
We've just talked about him, getting in the ring with guys like Canelo, outsizing him. He's a really tall guy compared to a Canelo Alvarez.
Isn't it to unify a title? Doesn't he have some? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Canelo and Caleb Plant got in each other's face at a pre-fight. Now, I'm all for the pre-fight shenanigans.
It was a face-off.
Yeah, it was a face-off.
It just went next level.
It was a face-off, and I'm all for that. I love when Dana White feels all awkward at a UFC event, and the guys like do a little shoving and like, hey, I'm gonna get you. But this wasn't theatrics. This seemed like, yo, I fucking hate you, and fists and slaps and she was thrown to the point where it wasn't like, yo, this is some good pre-fight hype. This was like, these guys had to be separated.
There's a catch to this. I don't want to give it away. I want you to see the clip first. I'm sure you saw it already, but please take notice of Canelo Alvarez's ridiculous fighting instincts. His reflexes are, bar none, some of the greatest ever.
Oh, yeah, you see Caleb Plant in the clip we're about to show you. When the melee starts, he goes to take a legit swing at Canelo, and Canelo avoids the punch, like Bleacher Bum just said. No, I'm sorry, Harsh One just said. Canelo had like some in-ring instinct, like
bang bang.
It was impressive. Here's the face-off if you want to take a look. Canelo and Plant.
Canelo's got a dumpy.
Whoa, that's a shove right there.
Canelo's so quick, it's disgusting.
He is so quick, it's disgusting. Let me ask you though. Yeah, what did he say that Canelo shoved him like that?
Fucking, I had sex with your mama. I don't know what he said exactly.
But Canelo's a champion. He's a world-renowned champion. He can't keep his composure. That was pretty.
Be bold there.
I mean, that's a shove, man. That's Canelo instigating.
It's
please be bold there.
Canelo-like, but I do think there was some personal talk. Again, I did see mama stuff in the commentary and the feedback, but now Canelo is could be a victim of his own unprofessionalism, because his fighting instincts kick right in. He dodges and counters, but he nails Caleb Plant, cutting him. Now, we have to hope that this cut heals before the fight in November, like significantly heals, or else what, does it get pushed back now because of this? That's some bullshit. Hopefully not, but I don't think he's proud of himself in this moment, but I think he just reacted.
Is this
and unfortunately he cut Caleb Plant.
Is this a...
Can you please explain what happened with Caleb Plant at the press conference?
No, what happened is he started talking a lot of things, and I answered, and then the bad thing he said, so you can say whatever you want to me, but not to my mother. My mother is not here, nothing to do here, so that's why I pushed him, and then he came back with a left hook. That's why. Happened what?
Oh man, yeah.
It's funny. I read that, but I wasn't certain. I just thought maybe people were speculating on. He said something about his mom. But
how do you explain the little lip thing he has going on? What's that?
Herpes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You confirmed it there, Spotty. So Caleb Plant now has a cut under his eye. He was bleeding everywhere. Will it heal by November? Let's hope so.
Stay away from. It's me. I don't know. My mother.
I don't know.
You talk about me, mom. Me mama.
It's crazy.
And the last story is like a little piggyback story from our little discussion yesterday. There's a follow-up. All right, leave the piggy out of it.
Did the little piggy go to the market?
No, they had roast beef.
Leave Babe Ruth's granddaughter out of this.
I'm Babe's great-granddaughter. My name's Ethel Ruth.
Yeah, that's great. You got any cool stories? Nope.
Not really.
I remember he farted one time.
All right, great. Back to you, Rich. My new show, Celebrity Descendants.
Yesterday,
not going anywhere.
You sort of gave your condescending take on nobody cares about Slipknot or Corey Taylor or whatever, but the story continues to grow. It's a big story in my algorithm.
I care more about the Red Rooster, Terry Taylor.
Well, Corey Taylor is the lead singer of Slipknot and Stone Sour.
I know.
And him and Machine Gun Kelly got into this beef, right? So Machine Gun Kelly said, who cares about 50-year-old dudes wearing a mask? Like how fucking lame that shit is. And they were on competing stages headlining a show in Chicago, and Machine Gun Kelly started talking shit about Slipknot while they were performing. So Corey Taylor then sort of shut him up, to be honest. There's a little bit of again, follow-up and clap back here, as they say, because he then tweeted, Corey Taylor's like, I'm not the type of guy to fucking deal with this bullshit. I'm not the type of guy to bring up private stuff. But the reason he has an issue with me is because I turned down an offer to be on his song and then had the receipts to prove it. He posted the emails between him, Machine Gun Kelly, and Travis Barker. And basically what happened was they asked Corey Taylor to be on a track, right? Corey Taylor provided some lyrics and vocals for a track. And then Machine Gun Kelly and Travis, they started wanting him to rearrange it and change it. And Corey Taylor was like, I'm an established dude. I don't want people writing for me. I don't want Machine Gun Kelly writing for me. And he respectfully said, thanks, man, but I don't think I'm your guy for this. Tell Machine Gun Kelly props and respect, but I'm just not the guy for this project. Okay. So he turned down the offer and then hurt Machine Gun Kelly's itty bitty feelings. Now, I don't know the public's sort of opinion on this. Like, is Machine Gun Kelly a little bitch? But he had the proof right there. That's why he was being a little baby about it.
My thought, Covino, is I respect them both. Like, I can only make fun of Corey Taylor's Slipknot mask so long, but I respect, and I know they're legends, and I know that Machine Gun Kelly is definitely a top artist nowadays. But, I mean, it does seem like a case of hurt feelings, but also a case of it is a little weird for a 50-year-old guy to wear a mask. I agree with both of them. I think they're both, I think...
but still, you don't call out a dude that you supposedly... You see the feedback. Machine Gun Kelly's like, yo, man, I'm so honored, bro. You're on my track, bro. I fucking love you, man. Respect. This is so fucking cool. And then when Corey Taylor was like, you know what, man? I don't think I'm the guy for this project. Sorry, I'm out. That's when he turns into a little dick about it. And that's just the follow-up rest of the story. And like I said, he posted the receipts, the emails of the exchange back and forth to prove, hey, this is why this little dick is upset. And Spot, if you want to pull it up and maybe read it, then that's just the update on that. The Corey Taylor, Machine Gun Kelly beef got more clarity, and the public perception or the court of public opinion says, yo, that's Machine Gun Kelly being a little bitch. Like, Corey Taylor just shut you up.
Key is sort of right on this one. He said, little bit of a two-faced move. Like, yo, I admire you. Let's work together. Oh, no? Yeah, you're a fucking old guy with a mask. Like,
that's it.
Sort of like a bitch. I will say that. It's a bitch move from Machine Gun Kelly if that story and the receipts check out. So
it is. Spot, I sent it to your clip. You can see it. He tweeted out, again, it was an email exchange between Corey Taylor and Travis Barker, like a mutual respect there, and with notes from Machine Gun Kelly. And he posted them. He actually pinned them on his Twitter.
Where'd you send it?
Just because he's
to the text?
To our page. Yeah, it's in Corey Taylor's Twitter, but it's the first thing. But I sent it to our group text.
Oh, okay.
So that's just the update. And I thought your reaction yesterday to the story was comical.
Yeah, fucking who cares?
It's on our TikTok page if you guys want to see just that clip.
Daniel,
Covino and Rich on TikTok, and a shout out to Daniel Fitz.
Yeah, Daniel Javier Fitz does our TikTok for us. We should do it ourselves, but Daniel,
I do some of them.
Spot does some, but Daniel does some as well. So thanks, buddy. One last thought before we get out of here.
Hold on.
Has nothing to do with history. Has nothing to do with my new show about relatives of former presidents. Has nothing to do with Conor McGregor or Axl Rose or Machine Gun Kelly. But here's the message. This is from Machine Gun Kelly's team to... This is from Machine Gun Kelly to Corey Taylor. You can read the back and forth if you want later.
No, it's not. It's from... This is Corey Taylor. That's his Twitter. And yeah, the email is from Travis Barker to Corey Taylor with notes from Machine Gun Kelly and everything. So,
gotcha. Okay.
Anyway, I explained it. You could watch it on your own time.
All right, go enjoy some Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. I have one last thought. Take advantage of your hometown. I want to just say this one last time.
Yeah.
Not your hometown Jersey, but yeah, while you're there, go have Taylor ham, go have Johnny Napkins pizza or whatever it is. take advantage of what your city and town has to offer, and don't take it for granted because it's there. You know the old thing of like when you lived in New York City, you never went to the Empire State Building, you never went to the Statue of Liberty. You were just like, yeah, well, it's there. Take advantage of what your home city has to offer. You go visit someone that lives in Florida, and it's like, oh, how often do you go to Disney or the beach? And they're like, yeah, not often. Take advantage of what makes your hometown awesome. Last night, Sarah and I and Dave, good old Dave Hoots, and the kids went to Malibu for dinner. We went to Duke's Cafe, got great fish tacos, good food there.
Yeah, it's right on the water.
Right on the water. We went to Duke's for dinner, and then we walked on the beach while, took my socks off and my shoes off and put my feet in the water, and we watched the sunset and just hung by the beach for 15 minutes. And let me tell you, it took me 18 minutes to get home from the beach. And Sarah and I are like, well, we just moved to this house, so we're still getting used to how far it is. But we got home in like under 20 minutes to and from the beach in Malibu. And we said,
You're literally right near the beach.
Yeah, we'd be dummies because right where we live is the path.
Remember when I was the LA Playa by La Playa?
Yeah, but did you go enough? You did?
All the fucking time.
Good.
I go to the beach with Kristen and Shannon like.
Hey, sit down for a second.
Every fucking week.
You're leaving. Well, we're signing off anyway.
I'm at the beach every weekend.
Yeah, I swear to God, same. It was just such a part of my routine. It was one. What was it? Laurel Canyon, one road to Malibu.
We're getting off in 1 second, so I'll walk out with you. Yeah, we're
no,
done.
He's got to go. It's the time.
Hey,
when the time comes, he's got to go.
Spot, give me Doodle Kim. Well, Dave, you can say goodbye to everybody. That's Sarah's dad. We're
David Lee Hoots.
David Hoots. I was telling them about how Henry Ford's a racist and an anti-Semite. It's true. All right, listen, we'll...
basically, Rich just regurgitated everything you said yesterday.
Exactly. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Actually, no, not tomorrow, right?
No, we're off the next 2 days.
So, Covino, do you want to do a Behind the Velvet Rope tomorrow?
I'm going to do several, I think.
Yeah, so we'll do several Behind the Velvet Ropes. I'll do one here in L.A., Covino will do one back in Jersey. Why don't you do like Taylor Ham with Tommy, where you guys just sit?
Taylor Ham with Tommy.
Like you and your brother.
Go to the diner, set up a camera.
And you and your brother.
Bro, I'm like Corey Taylor, dude. I don't need you writing for me. I'm good.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm just kidding. Bro.
Corey Taylor Ham.
Hey, do your thing. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys for the rest of the week on Behind the Velvet Rope. And
thank you.
Sunday on Fox Sports Radio. We'll see you guys. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye. Bye.